that, Hutch. You know that both teams, particularly St Kevin's, are quite a defensive unit. They've set the benchmark over the last 6 years. They're 4 quarters away from their 6th straight A-grade grand final. But Scotch have pipped them this year when it comes to the defence. They're number 1 in the competition for it.
I think if it's a shootout, Scotch will win. I don't think St Kevin's will want a shootout at all today. They'd be rather happy to shut it down and let their backs get to work. Scotch can score heavily. It'll be an interesting game. I'm really looking forward to it.
We're not too far away from a start here at Elsternwick Park. We will keep you up to date around the grounds with what's going on in the Premier C Grand Final, Old Carey and the Hampton Rovers. That is at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Our opening term is coming up for Conway IT, industry-leading tech partners. You can visit conwayit.com.au. Billy Coates is in the centre of the ground, getting ready to get us underway in game 200. Great news if you've just joined us. Michael Pisker is here to cheer on his St Kevin's teammates, while Old Scotch are looking for a spot in their first grand final, Petchy, since 1998.
Yes, a long time. A long time. How many years is that?
26.
26 years.
Interesting, Joey and Simon, that James Tarrant started up on a wing, and he'll probably roll forward at some stage, and Valentine's gone up as well, and they've got a small forward line, which I don't reckon Plugger would have been planning for.
Okay, we normally see Tarrant out in that area too early in their games, Greg, and game is underway, and St Kevin's try to go forward through Winter, head over the football. Matheson Grant goes over the top of him inside the centre square, and will have a ball in the air. So just into the first 30 seconds of this preliminary final down here at Elsternwick Park. St Kevin's up against Old Scotch. St Kevin's to the scoreboard end, and Scotch down to the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground as Cameron gets a clearing kick, centre wing out of sight of the ground. He goes towards Bennett, going with him there, Kerr, but he couldn't keep up. Bennett got a handball to Barter, gets a kick up towards Tarrant, who fisted over the line out of play out of sight of the ground, and will have a ball in. So there he is, Greg.
Yeah.
As you said, he's up the ground. We've seen this with him before.
Yeah.
So out of sight of the ground, early going of this one. Old Brighton already booked a place in the grand final. They'll be watching on keenly to see who they'll face out of St Kevin's and Old Scotch. By setting himself to toss this one back in. Grant and Coates, and Billy won it down to the front. Nathan Frenetic picked it up and just hacked it forward to half forward. Bounced on its point. Farrugia came out. Jock pushed in the back maybe. They'll ask the question, but Brown will not be rewarded, and the umpire will ask for the ball again. So the half forward flank for the Cardinals, coming off a big win against Collegians last week. Coates won it down. He got it to Winter. He was held without the footy against Aidan Frenetic. So our first real disposal of the afternoon, and Luke Winter will give the handball to the running Jock. Sends it down the line to Paddy Kerr. Went up with the one Duke. Darmody was out the back. He tried to flick it on to get to his teammate in Andrew Matheson before running out of real estate and going over the line. It looks like Hutch already, they want to give a quick handball and run through the lines.
Yeah, that's the way they want to play, and balanced up now. Tarrant looks like he's more forward, and Val looks like he's deeper as well. So that's the structure that I reckon Plugger would have been looking for, and that's how it's going to look like it's going to be for a while, I think.
So feeling each other out at the moment, thrown back in centre wing out of sight of the ground. Coates palms it to the front of the pack, picked off there by Henry Brown. A kick towards half forward, but Critchley takes a diving mark in defence, and he marks just outside the 45-metre arc on the Nepean Highway side of the ground here at Elsternwick Park. He goes up towards centre wing. They'll set themselves, and mark has been taken out there for St Kevin's. We don't have him on our list. It's 36, and I'm not exactly sure who that is. We may find out during the day. Coates palms it down. Picked off there by Townsend. Scotch go forward again. Straight in the arms there of Tarrant. He spins around, had a look to Scott. He marks inside, just inside the centre square. He kicks a wobbly one down towards Polkinghorn. Brought to ground, had to throw the ball or handball the ball away. He got away with it. Ball still on the deck. It's down at Scotch's end, the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. Tarrant lays a tackle, and we'll have a ball up. 55 out from Scotch's goal. No score to either side for Conway IT. 3 minutes gone in this first term.
You'll find Liam Gunson in the number 36 today, Simon, as Winter extracts the footy, goes back to Jock, who went further back to Critchley. All this by hand on the outer side of the ground. Critchley's kick might be too wide for Darmody. Out of bounds on the full. So Townsend will take the free kick for the Cardinals. Called to play on as he stepped inside the field. Brilliant from Darmody on the mark. It didn't go out of bounds, so Hayes picked up the footy right on the perimeter pipe and got it to Frenetic, who thumped it in towards goal. Valentine in a 2-on-1. That's a brilliant mark taken out the back by Anthony Seaton. The skipper of Sandy is back in this St Kevin's side.
And look, if Scotch bomb it in all day, St Kevin's going to mark everything that comes in. I know they probably had to get it in there, but they just route it so well through the air, St Kevin's.
Oh, their defence is terrific. And that was an easy one for Seaton. Now Cameron. Commentary side goes towards half-back. Tucker, eyes only for the footy. Takes the mark here between centre wing and half-back. Attacking to the scoreboard end of the ground here, St Kevin's in this first term. 4 minutes and no score to either side. Tucker takes his time, kicks the ball towards centre wing. They set themselves. Coates in from the side. Palmed it down. Cormac was there. Now Coates end up with it. From a handball, he goes to centre half forward. Gunson there. Hayes wearing him like a glove, kicked the ball along the ground away from him. Richards applied a great tackle, but it was too high. And Scotchies will take this free kick. That's Townsend down there at centre half back for them. Goes across the face of goal. He goes to Noblet, who goes further up to Stubbings, and he marks between half-back and centre wing for Scotch.
So on the half-back flank, he wants to cut back inboard to Stubbings. And the Cardinals can just stop and prop. Townsend plays this broadcast wing and gets to Ollie Barter at the interchange gates. All of this by foot. Stubbings wants to move it quickly on the left. And easy pickings in the end for Anthony Seaton. Hutch for the second time in a minute.
Yeah. Well, interesting that at that last stoppage when St Kevin's went forward. St Kevin's had dragged all their blokes up forward. They only had one. It was a 1v3 inside 54. So I think a player is going to try and hold his players just a bit more forward of the ball.
Let's get downstairs for Old X to Brent Sternberg, who's riding the boundary for us today, Brent.
Just quickly, Big Will Clark has started on the bench for Old Scotch, so maybe just a bit mindful of how tall they are to start things. We'll have a look at those rotations as we go through the match.
Good on you, Brent. And frenetic, a kick towards centre half forward. Valentine there, palmed it away from Ferrugia. The little seagull in Simon's got a handball. A kick away, Valentine into goal. He's got it. So Valentine kicks the opening goal there for Scotch. Well done, Angus Simons. He was in the right spot. He gave the handball, and Scotch open up the scoring here. They go on to 1 straight 6. St Kevin's yet to score. For Conwire IT, we have gone around 5.5 minutes in this first term.
And it was a scrappy ball going inside, and they were able to have Val one-on-one and the other small forward there. And at even numbers, slow ball, not a slow ball, but a scrappy ball coming in, they were able to utilise the one-on-one, and good result by Val to hit the scoreboard on his left.
Yeah, he worked hard on that, didn't he? He knew where Simons was to receive, and he just put it straight on his boot.
Early contender for the grilled goal of the day. It's the first one of the day going the way of the Cardinals too. So back into the centre square, brilliant from Mansfield. On the left, and St Kevin's can go forward. Although marking all on his lonesome is Jack Brown, the intercept defender across the half-back flank. Old golf course side of Elsternwick Park, just nature reserve now.
Nature reserve, yeah.
Simon Petch loves to tell everyone. Tarrant from the back, he was 3 deep, didn't stick the mark, but he'll get it now as it hits the ground. He can have a bounce. Taz, it didn't come back to him though, which opened the door for Lockie Ferrugia to pick it up and give it to Seaton. Simon's closed on him. Seaton's wobbly kick to the wing. It bounces on its point as Frenetic hacks it out of the air over the head of Sam Critchley. It almost bounced over his head, but he was taken over the line by Cooper Lean. And we'll have this one tossed in front of the light tower on the far side of the ground at half forward. We've got 7 minutes in this opening term, and on the William Buck scoreboard, 1 straight 6, the Cardinals, St Kevin's yet to score.
Tarrant before had no one to kick it to, so there was just no one inside that 45-metre arc. They were all outside. He had a bounce, and it bounced away from him. 48 metres out from Scotch's goal. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. A P and highway side. The ball's thrown in. Coates gets it to Critchley, who's dragged into the ground by Henry Brown, and the umpire says, give it to me. 46 metres out from Scotch's goal. He'll throw it in the air. Breeze is blowing across the face of goal here. Here's Frenetic, got a handball out. Scotch now go forward again. Another kick in towards goal. It goes right across the face, this time out of play. And we'll have a ball in. Scotch 1 straight 6. St Kevin's yet to score for Conwell IT. We've got 8 minutes in this first term, Greg.
Yeah, St Kevin's has really struggled forward of the ball, haven't they? They haven't been able to go inside 50 very often at all, and Scotch look like they've got a bit of control around the stoppages just at the moment.
Thrown back in, Big Billy just grabbed it out of the ruck and dumped it to the wing. The mark's been taken by Cormac, the intercept mark that is, and Frenetic, who is within range. I don't think he'll go for it from the centre square. He thumps it into the pocket for Tarrant. 2 bites of the Terry from Jade. Now that was just smashed straight over the boundary line by Nick Smith. That's as deliberate as you can get. That's all he was looking for, Simon, was the boundary line. In the modern game, that's a dangerous prospect. And it'll leave the magic man, Angus Simons, who will love it from the pocket, to take 2 steps around and snap into goal. He's already had a hand in the first one, as Angus kicked 3 last week. He's on the board today. The little magician of the Cardinals kicks their second. He's got his first. And much like last week, Greg, it was the Tunners who kicked the first 2, so of the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was a good result. A bit stiff, the St Kevin's bloke. I reckon he was trying to smash it through under pressure for a point.
That's exactly what Greg, I was about to say. I'm not.
Yeah, no, he was a bit unlucky. Yeah.
Well, he should have just got it over the line, Simon. He went to the wrong side of the post, unfortunately.
It was off the side of the fist.
But this is the modern game, isn't it?
No, this is what
the old days where you and Greg were playing and calling, the boundary line is no longer your friend, Simon.
Well, missed by about half a metre, Joe.
Yeah, off the side of the fist. Off the side of the fist, I totally agree. Matheson outside of the centre circles with a kick. He then went after it again, picked up in the middle. St Kevin's tried to get it out of the centre square, but Scotch harassed them. They harassed them out of the football contest, really. Now Darmody just looking for a free kick, won't get one in there, and will have a ball up. So Scotch, we've seen this harassment by them before. They harass with their tackling, and they're doing it early in this game down here against St Kevin's. Clark and Coach both got a hand onto it. Hayes to Frenetic. A high kick. Centre half forward the target. Oh, Terrace! Oh, he nearly marked it. He fell over. Now it goes to Lean. Lean can handle or go into goal. He goes into goal and kicked it. But nearly a miraculous mark there by Terrace. Lean kicks it. That's Scotch's third.
St Kevin's good players just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment. Al Richards hasn't been able to touch it much. Luke Winters hasn't been influential around it. They're just going to need to get their hands on the ball pretty much to settle it down a bit, St Kevin's.
So 3 straight Scotch, 3 straight St Kevin's yet to score, 10.5 gone first term for Conway IT.
And just quickly, I think Angus Simons might have had the handball there when James Tarrant nearly took that miraculous mark and handballed it off to Lean. So he's had a hand in all 3 of them. Has the magician in the number 6. We're back in the centre square, and they've got some questions that need answering. St Kevin's, as they burst away from the centre square, they go inside 50, Kerr direction. He's in a one-on-one here, Paddy. He's the biggest man there, didn't take it. Jones, and it hits the ground, is wrapped up by Lawrence. He shoveled the handball back the way of Kerr, and Bennett navigates it over the line for Old X. Let's get down to Brent Sternberg on the boundary.
Joey, I was just going to say, at ground level, it's obvious that Old Scotch are absolutely all over them here. St Kevin's up into the 50 really for the first time. Sam Grant comes in to go into the ruck, and Will Clark goes up forward for the Cardinals.
So out of sight of the ground, Nature Reserve side, inside the 45-metre arc. Thrown back into play, Grant goes up. Oh, Angus Hart, he grabbed it. Then Lawrence got in his way. Gelbart goes through. Jones gets in his way. And we'll have a ball up centre half forward here for St Kevin's, Greg.
And Simon, I'm just interested to see what's happened with Tom Jock. He started at half back. He's been off for a while, so I'm not sure, Brent, if you got any mail on what the story is with Tom downstairs on the bench there.
So ball back into the middle of the ground. Valentine handball. Lean, the last goal kicker for Scotch. He was harassed out of it. And the free kick going Matheson's way here. For St Kevin's in the centre of the ground. Was it Walters? It is in the centre of the ground here for St Kevin's. He goes out wide, fished away there by Winter. Gelbart out the back of the pack. Heard the call, gave the handball to Hayes. Hayes was in space and away they go again, Scotch. Kick towards Valentine, but out of bounds on the full. Resultant free kick going St Kevin's way. They haven't scored yet. They're 0-0. Scotch on 3 straight 18. We've gone 12.5 for Conway IT in this first term.
So Ferrugia thumps it back from where it came. Big pack of players on the outer wing. Gelbart palmed it down towards Noblet. It was stolen, now ends up with Darmody. He can give to Mansfield at the 45. He can close to 35, and he's missing on this occasion, Benny Mansfield. One goes begging after 13 minutes in this first term. That was their first look at goal. Greg, in this contest, they're trailing by 17 points.
Yeah, it's been difficult for them getting clear of stoppage. They were a bit better there coming through the stoppage.
So kick back in. Mark taken here by Dennis in defence. Scotch work it out of the 45-metre arc. Oh, Andriski there, but Stubbings marked it. Umpire blew the whistle, paid the mark, but he played on. Came to sing, he overran it. St Kevin's back with the footy, and Richards will go for a run. Got away from Stubbings, goes with the kick. Centre half forward, Kerr. Meet the sandwich, couldn't mark, and Frenetic roved it beautifully. Off the ground, he kicks it out of danger. Out towards the Nepean Highway side of the ground and deliver it. Here we go. And that's over the line out of play, and a free kick will go Gunson's way here for St Kevin's. So Frenetic just out of play. Kick towards the 45-metre arc. Grant set himself, couldn't mark, fell to Gilbert. He wanted someone to handball it to. Bennett was there, then he dropped it. Lawrence rode a tackle okay, and Frenetic won it back. They work it out again, Scotch, towards centre wing. Kick up here towards Ferrugia, though, for St Kevin's. He battled back and got the football. Left foot kick. Back virtually whence it came. Grant sets himself. Fished away by Bennett for Scotch. Again fell to Hayes, and he works it here to Lee, to Cormac.
So to half forward, Clark nearly clunked it with the one juke. He didn't, so Ferrugia, for the third time in a row, will thump it back to half forward. Darmody fisted away by Bennett. It's a replay of what just happened. Again with Cormac, he couldn't get it from Grant cleanly enough. And Benny Mansfield wrapped him up as we go downstairs to Brent Sternberg on the boundary.
This is a message for Greg. Tom Jockey's on the bench. He's been on the bench for about 6 minutes. Just a planned rotation, but he can't get back on with the ball being on the other side of the ground.
There's Brent Sternberg for Old X down on the boundary. Walters went for Winter, and it goes over the line. Must be one of the great frustrations, Greg, when you're coaching, the ball's stuck on the other side of the ground.
It's an absolute nightmare trying to, and that's why you've just got to take off the nearest player. Get the nearest player off and let the players adjust. Interestingly, Clark's gone forward, and it looks like Tarrant and Valentine are up around the footy now, so they're pretty tall in the front half against Scotch.
So this is about to be tossed back in. Billy Coates will do the ruck work here against Big Grant for the Cardinals, who are leading this one by 17 points. If you're just joining us for William Buck, this is the preliminary final. St Kevin's and Old Scotch. Walters shoveled the handball forward. Now they can go for a run outside the 50. They're now inside, and beautiful ball. Oh, and he's lonesome there was Angus Hart. I reckon the defence just got shuffled a little, Greg, and they lost their placings.
Just lowered his eyes and hit him up on a nice lead. It was a pretty easy play in the end. Got good clearance, so Billy Coates was good in there. Got the ball to the runner there.
So Angus Hart, who has played every game this season, kicked just the 9 goals. This from directly in front to give them their first one of the contest, 15.5 minutes into the opening term. The umpire does not move, and Angus Hart puts St Kevin's on the board. So for William Buck, it's 3 straight 18 Old Scotch. St Kevin's a 1-1-7 in this preliminary final, and around the grounds for the past Premier C Grand Final. Old Carey one behind. Hampton Rovers yet to score after 6 minutes at Trevor Barker Oval. But Greg, if they can get a bit more of that, just composure going forward as opposed to bombing on top of Paddy Kerr's head, they might be back in this contest.
Yeah, look, the important thing was the contest there. They were able to get it inside and then get it to one of their outside runners, and then able to, as I said, lower his eyes and hit the guy on the lead.
So Jock on, he's gone to centre half back here for St Kevin's with his left knee really heavily strapped there as he comes onto the ground. Walters out of the middle, tried a handball. Now Lipscomb, he grabbed it from mid-air, and then he was tackled by Winter and Walters and says, I can't go anywhere. I'll give it to the umpire and he'll throw it back in the air. Just outside both centre circles. It hits the deck. Winter got it. Now Walters. A kick in towards half forward here for St Kevin's. Scoreboard into the ground, but Bennett again doing a good job in defence. Got a handball out. Tucker roved it beautifully. Got away from his man. Bombs the ball back towards half forward. Up they go. No one takes the mark. It came to ground level. They charge through again. Now Scotch. A kick out of danger momentarily. Up towards half forward. Now Jock onto the ground. He pushed Simons off. Got the handball back to Ferrugia, who goes further up the ground, and the mark taken by Richards in the centre square. So heading towards the scoreboard into the ground, St Kevin's, he goes to Cameron, and he marks about 60 out from goal. Scoreboard, Scotch 3 goals straight 18, St Kevin's 1-1-7. Cameron close to the boundary line, it's seen over, and we'll have a ball in directly underneath the scoreboard.
Right kick, Greg, going into the pocket like that, 3-1.
Well, not many other options. The Scotch ruckman had dropped back. I think it's a pretty good result. A throw in inside 50 for St Kevin's that play. They'd be pretty happy with that.
Paddy Kerr loves to grab it out of the ruck in this situation. He'll just palm it down to the front though and give Hodges a crack. Lipscomb tried to bust his way through. He was taken in the tackle, thrown into the turf, and the umpire will ask for it again. So another chance for the number 10, Paddy Kerr, to do the ruck work here for St Kevin's. Grant won it down. Gelbart right along the boundary line. He was met head on by Richards, and it goes over in front of a healthy St Kevin's crowd who have gathered up on the hill just underneath the scoreboard. That reads 3 straight 18 to St Kevin's 1-1-7. They kicked the first 3 goals. Angus Simons has had a hand in all 3 of them. Angus Hart just responded with St Kevin's first one. All for William Buck. The 2024 preliminary final. Thrown back in now. Clark over the top. Hodges, Gelbart sees it back over. So 3-4 stoppages in a row. Will the stoppage sort of game favours St Kevin's, Greg, as opposed to the Cardinals, or either side won't really mind this?
Oh, I think St Kevin's like a stoppage game. Scotch would rather have a running outside game, and they're really good, St Kevin's, in here. It's just so congested in there, it's so hard. They're going to try and drag some blokes out, but it's really difficult to do.
So many players in there. Andriski, one of them, left foot kick goes in towards full forward. It'll hit full forward in the goal square, but Lawrence has taken a good strong mark. Good contested mark over the top of Jones. Gee, how many times have we seen him do that in his career?
He loves it, Dougie, doesn't he?
Loves it, and his left foot's terrific. Kick towards centre wing. Critchley went the spoil. Jock roved it okay, then palmed it along the ground. They all get in the way. Andriski there, but he lost it. Lipscomb in the middle of the ground here for Scotch. He had to go back. Now he goes forward with a kick up to half forward. Not a good one in Cameron. Dropping back takes the mark here for St Kevin's in defence. Glenn Huntley Road end of the ground. Inside defensive 45, he brings it out, and Andriski takes the mark. He's got Richards running. Handball goes to him. He looks towards a half-forward flank. He goes in that direction. Mark taken there by Hodges. Back to Richards into the pockets, and Mark taken. And Kerr's marked it in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, good passage of play, lowered the eyes, running handball. Al Richards got involved. He's really important for them. He's got great leg speed, and it was a really good kick inside 50. Hit the leading player really well. And Scotch had the opportunity to go inside 50 to Ryan Valentine, who was one-on-one, and they chose to just go slow through the midfield. They had to get it in there, and as a result, St Kevin's having a shot on goal.
Kicked 53 goals this year as Paddy Kerr leading the way from the sharpshooters. Petch, this will be his bloody best effort.
Well, yes, there's plenty of daylight between the goals, and the breeze, as far as I was aware, was blowing in his back across the face. He puts it on its way. That's not bad, but just to the right, a minor score. Taking St Kevin's on to 1-2-8. Trailing Old Scotch 3 straight 18 for Conwire IT. 20 and a half gone in this first term.
I reckon someone on the St Kevin's bench is listening to the commentary, because since Greg Hutchison said Al Richards needs to get into the game, he's had a fair piece of it on this broadcast wing, and he was involved in that last passage of play. That's a brilliant mark from Ryan Valentine. Floating across the front, he goes for Simons in the centre circles. The little magician gathers the ball as it hits the ground. He wants to send it out wide for Hayes. Set him a task and gave away the free kick. So St Kevin's on the bounce will take it back, and Jock will chisel it up the line, and here they go with Matheson. Half volley that chiselled it, turned it over, and the mark's been taken by the Cardinals, who will cut back inboard into the centre circles. Mark taken here by Dennis. That centre half back wants to come to the broadcast side. Stubbings has got a world of grass in front of him. He'll go into the pocket and go back with a flight. That's a really good mark taken by Ollie Barter. So at the moment, Greg, if Angus Simons doesn't get you, this little man, Ollie Barter, will.
I'm not sure if that was a missed kick on the left or not, but anyway, take it while you can.
Well, he hit the target.
Yeah, and they did hit the target. Good change of direction play from Scotch coming out of the back half as well. Brave to switch the ball, and a good play to end up going inside 50, and good opportunity here for the young fella.
Well, why not be brave?
Yeah, that's right.
Why not? Yeah. Take it on.
He's a little igniter, is Ollie Barter. If Angus Simons is the magician, this bloke is his wingman from right on the boundary line. It's not going to be a goal. It's going to go right across the face. Big fist that's smashed back in towards the field of play. In fact, it's rolling back towards the little magician in Simons, who was pushed off it. St Kevin's, they fired a wide handball out to no one. Tarrant on 50, gives back to Gelbart, and a wild kick off the side of the boot. In fact, it was from Andy Gelbart, out of bounds on the forward. Sammy Cameron will take the free kick. Simon?
So 4 goals for the game so far. We've gone 22 minutes. Ball down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground, and Matheson ends up with it from the free kick across the face, and brings it up to Critchley. He was in the right spot. A nice kick towards centre wing, and St Kevin's work it up the ground around the outside, and St Singh takes the mark here for them. Commentary side centre wing. He goes into the middle of the ground. He had plenty of options there. Andriski was one. He goes right across the face of the ground to Cameron. He was an option, and he took the mark uncontested. Kick towards centre wing to Gunson. He'll mark in front of his eyes. Hayes gets there late. Gunson plays on. Kicks St Kevin's inside the 45-metre arc, and a free kick. Has it for a push has been paid against Hart. And Scotch will take that one, and Jack Brown gets the free kick and got it off here to Clark. And Scotch working around the outer side of the ground to Tarrant. It goes over the line out of play, and we'll have a ball in. 23 and a half gone. First term, Scotch lead 3 straight 18, St Kevin's 1-2-8 for Conwire IT.
Interesting kick inside 50, wasn't it? They did a really good job to change direction, open up the ground, and then the last kick inside 50 just let them down.
So we'll have this one thrown in around about 70 metres out from the Scotch goal. They're kicking to the Glen Huntley Road end in this first term. Coates won it down. Gunson pushed his opponent off it. Billy went back in to get the footy, gave to Cameron, shot the handball to Mansfield, who with a spiral sent it to half forward. Hart in a one-on-one. Brilliant mark by Jackie Brown. A Sherrod mark of the day contender who reeled it in with the one juke on the half-back flank. Not sure if they want to get camped in going straight back down the line, but Jack Brown decides to do that. Tarrant in the box seat, didn't take the mark. Andy Gelbart was at the front, wrapped up by Benny Mansfield. The umpire will ask for the ball. So we're at 24 and a half minutes into the opening term for Conwire IT. 3 straight 18 to 1-2-8. The ball dribbles back over the boundary line, around the grounds for the pass. Old Carey, 2-2-14 against the Hampton Rovers in the Premier C Grand Final after 14 and a half minutes.
And doesn't the ground at Trevor Barker Oval look beautiful?
Oh,
today?
go on, tell us about the Neil
No,
Bencroft
well,
grandstand. Greg hasn't heard it, I don't think, Simon.
Haven't got enough time here for that. Ball back into play, and Matheson now. Gunson burst clear. Goes with a kick inside 45. Lawrence out in front. Oh, stolen off him there by Gill in the goal. And he's kicked it. Lawrence went to the mark. Gill came across the front of him. He spoiled it. He grabbed it. He kicked it. And he goaled there for St Kevin's. That's their second. They go on a 2-2-14. Trailing Scotch on 3 straight 18 for Conwire IT. We're nearing the 20-minute mark in this 25-minute mark in this first term.
Quick ball movement again, and then got the opportunity to go to a one-on-one inside 50. And if you can do that all day, you're going to be in a really good position and good front and square crumb and nice goal.
Yeah.
So Ollie Gill kicks what would be his 13th goal of the season as we go down to Brent Sternberg on the boundary.
Paddy Kerr back on, boys. He was on the bench for a couple of minutes there, and nearly every assistant coach had a chat to him. Not entirely sure what the messaging was, but he's back out at full forward.
Chop gets the clearance and they can move forward again here. St Kevin's with the latest goal kicker in Gill. I like that they've left him on the ground. He's hot to trot. The adrenaline's pumping. He gets to Jock now at half forward. And Tom will chisel it into the pocket in the direction of Kerr, but Tucker was standing in front of him. Took the mark.
Good mark.
So a nice little bit of lateral ball movement from St Kevin's, Greg. They used the width of Elsternwick Park to get this one inside 50.
Certainly, it was a good play by Sammy Tucker. Just drifted forward and Doug Lawrence had to come off, but he just couldn't quite get to the contest to spoil that one. Good ball use again. Lowered their eyes, hit the free player.
I thought during the week, if St Kevin's were to win this game of footy, they'd need a bit out of Paddy Kerr and they need a bit out of this man, Sam Tucker, who's having a terrific individual season. From the pocket, it starts to move back, but just keeps it near side. Very similar, Simon, to the shot Paddy Kerr had just moments ago. But they are well within reach of Scotch, who burst out of the blocks. 3 straight 18, that's the Cardinals. 2-3-15, St Kevin's. We've gone 27 minutes in this opening term for William Buck.
So 5 shots to 3 in the quarter, so been a good scoring quarter for both sides as Townsend plays on from fullback. Elects to go to the other side of the ground to Clark, who palmed it down the ground. Gelbart roved it okay, then heard the call inside for a handball, and he gave it straight back in to Noblet, who was in trouble. Handball came back to Lean, though. Lean butted up and goes to centre half forward for Scotch. No one takes the mark. It came out the back. Ferrugia bent down, picked it up. Handball along the ground was putting his man under pressure, Walters. It came back towards the boundary line where Simons was. Handball barred it back to Andriski in trouble, but Simons got him high. And a free kick going Andriski's way here for St Kevin's. He brings it across the face. And they'll work it out of danger momentarily to defence of St Kevin's. A kick towards centre wing. Mark held here by Henry Brown. He's between half-back and centre wing right underneath us. On commentary side, Hodges, sorry it is. And now he goes to Richards. And Richards marks for St Kevin's. Now he brings it, or he goes, he looks at Jock, but then Jock left it for Hodges, is it again? And he's taken the mark here for St Kevin's.
Right on the VAFA logo on the broadcast wing is Cam Hodges. He thought about setting it up and then decided just to chisel it down the line. Greg, the skills have been a genuine feature this first term.
St Kevin's have owned the game since about halfway through this quarter, and they're a bit unlucky they're not in front. Good ball use then, lower the eyes, hit find the free target. Now at the top of the goal square, there's a chance for a stoppage goal here.
So Paddy Kerr, you can expect to maybe try to grab it out of the ruck as Callum Jones picks it up the footy and gives it back to the umpire. Quick to throw it back in the air. Grant won it down. Went straight the way of Gill, who ran himself into trouble. And the umpire a touch lenient on Ollie Gill, who has kicked a goal already in this contest. Where 15 out from the St Kevin's goal. Here it is, Kerr grabbed it out of the ruck, got to Jones, who's not facing the goal face. He went backwards towards Mansfield. They may have just turned it over here as the Cardinals hack it out of the danger zone. Awkward bounce for Critchley. Broadcast week, they'll come from all parts of the compass. A wild handball backwards the way of Sammy Cameron. There's not much ahead of him, and Clark's going to close. Brilliant from Sammy Cameron. He stayed composed, didn't panic. Gets to Richards on the bounce. Runs the 180, and a nice little deft touch is a good one. Tucker taped and caught one across the chops. And Petch, loves every bit of it in finals footy on 11-16 SEN. To half forward, Jones from the back against Lawrence, made a contest of things. Ball hits the ground, it comes away a Big Billy. He shoots the handball out wider, still they can thump it from where the 50 meets the boundary. It's going towards goal, there's been a whistle. I think Nick Singh might have earned a free kick, and there's a few afters to go on with in the pocket. Right up against the fence. This is the stuff you love, Simon.
Well, have a look at the children running down to the boundary line to get involved in this. If you're watching at home on community TV, that's what you want to see.
Now, I think Nick Singh might have earned the free kick.
Have a look at the kids, they're still running.
He was disposed of, was Nick Singh, after he had the shot at goal, which did go through for a behind.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to take another kick, and I've been told by a few people that Nick Singh is the most relaxed man in the St Kevin's outfit. Petchy, any more relaxed than he'd be lying down. No one stands the mark. Take two for Singh from the pocket. Exactly the same result as the kick before, out of bounds on the full, Greg.
I wouldn't have thought that Mark Knapp would be too happy with that. The play gave away a free kick, and then there was no one standing on the mark, and it allowed Nick to have he should have done better with that. He kicked the ball to the top of the goal square to allow someone to take a catch.
Absolutely, just no one there. No one concentrating in the fence there for Scotch. 18 playing 15. Scotch had the lead. Nearly 31 minutes gone in this first term. Down at the scoreboard end, Doug Lawrence has got the footy. Kicks over the man on the mark and goes towards Grant. He goes up, he fists it clear. Goes towards the centre of the ground. Plenty of players around. Walters a handball. Back to Coates. Critchley standing still on centre wing. Goes a short kick. And he got it back to Walters. And he marks centre wing. Commentary side of the ground here at Elsternwick Park. 31 gone, first term. Scotch lead, 3 straight 18. St Kevin's 2-3, 15. Walters goes towards half forward. No one takes the mark. Fell into Hodges. Oh, he spun around by Dennis. Great tackle by him. And free kick going Scotch's way. And Dennis will take it at half back.
Terrific tackle, wasn't it? He didn't throw him into the turf. He buried the hand. He did it well, did it smart. So he gives the handball off to Townsend, who on the left foot thumps it down the line. Valentine from the back of Coates. Got a massive fist that just went straight up and down the chimney in the same spot. Frenetics on the deck. Coates wraps him up. A couple of big V tough nuts in there. Grant from the side. The umpire will ask for the ball. 32 minutes have elapsed in this opening term for Conway IT. You can enter conwayit.com.au. 18-15 in favour of the Cardinals. Grant out the back. Was one down by Winter. Got it to Walters. Darby just slipped over as he tried to reel in the Sharon. It's certainly gone up a couple of cogs, Greg, in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, hasn't it? Yeah, well, this is what it's all about. Primary final, big day, big stakes. Notice James Tarrant's been on the bench for a bit as well. It's just normal rotation, I would have thought, given that they've got Clark who's playing forward and rucking as well.
So half forward, commentary side here for St Kevin's. Ball to be thrown back in it comes. Coach front berth in his bootlaces. Picked off by Winter. Handball Richards. Look at him get away. He got a handball back into Hodges in trouble though. He got it back. Winter wasn't in the right spot. Ball hits the deck and Scotch working hard in defence as Darmody absolutely drove his opponent into the deck. Umpire says, give it to me, old ball this one up. Well, Richards was off and gone, but then they lost it. Thrown in the air again. Grant palms that one down towards the boundary line. Close to it goes. Now Walters ends up with it. St Kevin siren goes. And that is the end of the quarter. 33 minutes played in it. And Scotch lead 3 straight 18 to St Kevin's 2-3, 15. 5 goals kicked for the game in that first term.
All individual goal kickers to Simon. Angus Simons, Cooper Lean and Ryan Valentine for the Cardinals. Angus Hart and Ollie Gill for St Kevin's. So I might send Brent Sternberg into the huddle of the Cardinals. I'd like to hear Mark Nat's quarter time address, given the way they started and maybe, just maybe, they lost a touch cool at the back part of that term. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back we'll also hear the thoughts of Greg Hutchison, who is with us today on the broadcast on 11:16 SEN. Of course, you can watch the game as well on Community TV, the VAFA's official streaming partner. Back shortly with plenty more. Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
The 2024 VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final, Friday, September 27th at Elsternwick Park. A huge public holiday crowd will pack VAFA HQ and watch the top two teams fight for their slice of football history, and you can enjoy the day in style. Tickets are available for our match day function and include a delicious carvery, a 2-hour drinks package and entry to the big game. It's the VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final. Head to the VAFA website to grab your tickets now.
Listen in to the VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45 p.m. Listen via the app.
Quarter time in the preliminary final between St Kevin's and Old Scotch. St Kevin's a 2-3-15. Old Scotch leading 3 straight 18. Our opening term was all for Comwire IT, industry leading tech partners. You can visit comwireIT.com.au. You can watch the game, of course, on Community TV, the VAFA's official streaming partner. It's also bringing us very special comments today from the Big V coach himself, Greg Hutchison, who's up here with myself, Joe Pignataro, and Simon Petch. Shortly we'll get down to Brent Sternberg on the boundary. Hutch, what did you take away from that opening term?
Yeah, Scotch were great early, and then St Kevin's got themselves organised around the stoppage, and they were able to get some outside ball, and they kept control with their feet. So rather than just bombing it in, they found the loose player and the free player, and were able to chip it up the ground, and then identified some targets inside 50. Al Richards got to work, Luke Winter got to work, coaching was pretty good, and I reckon from halfway through the quarter they controlled the game.
If you are in the coaching shoes, let's go with Natty first. We're going to very shortly hear what he has to say. What would you be saying to your troops?
You just got to persevere with what you're doing. Just got to win the ball inside of the contest and then get the ball to the outside. They've got some really good runners, but they haven't been able to utilise them other than the first 15 minutes of the quarter. Interestingly, how they rotated Tarrant, Valentine and even Clark forward. It looked to me that they were a bit big at one stage with Clark forward. Just hasn't got the leg speed to put some pressure on down there. Is it Simons? Like, he's got terrific leg speed, albeit he's small, and you just need some leg speed in the front half against St Kevin's.
Let's go down to the quarter time huddle. Mark Nat addressing his troops.
Just compose. So we're right in the game, aren't we? Right? What was working for us there? So I reckon there was a few opportunities when we came forward. There was one for Lipar, one for Snubbo out this side. If in doubt, just get it out the back to grass, right? Because it's working for us. When Lean runs onto it, that works for us, doesn't it? So it's important to play those moments. What can we do to support the ball carrier in those situations? Yeah, we've got block. So I reckon in terms of sacrificial acts, we have 37 for the quarter. Right? It's not too bad. But to me, there's a function there of me, give me the ball. We need to support each other. We need to block. And I reckon we're a little bit quiet. Let's lip up a little bit more and support each other. Give each other some constructive direction so we know where to go. Right? Come back through inside. Frenetic, Gelbart and the Ruckman. They're the guys we want to play through. Lipper as well. So if we see it, hit it. See it, hit it. Even if it's draw the man on the mark, feed a handball and go. Generate some play off that. Now what are they trying to do to us? They're trying to go boundary. So what do we need to do defensively in that situation? We've got to press up and squeeze around so we can chop it up. So, do your work early, get on your toes. Really, really important. Okay? And let's just take a bit of composure, red ball. In terms of starting, as we were. No different, exactly the same 2018 on the ground. Right? Come in, boys. Brennan.
It's
15 tackles, not enough. Not enough. Let's increase the intensity around. We're losing at clearance. Must improve around clearance. Right, Fran? Lead the way in there. Granny, lead the way. Let's give ourselves a bit of surge mentality. Get the ball forward. Let's go.
There is Mark Nat addressing his troops. Shortly, I think Brent's going to try and grab a quick word with the coach of the Cardinals, Mark Nat, just as he does that. 37 sacrificial acts, of course, that's one of the numbers we follow all year when it comes to the Cardinals. There's a stack of people out there, Greg. Can't quite see where Brent Sternberg's gone, but you take away from that?
Yeah, I took away that they want to try and get the ball to grass inside 50 to try it, so they don't just bomb it in to allow St Kevin's to mark it. And the other thing, clearly, he just wants better representation of the contest. He's just got to implore his players to win the contest, win the clearance, and to use the ball back through the middle.
Let's go back down to Brent Sternberg, who's got the coach, Mark Nat.
Natty, you got the jumper there at the start, but that one with the quarter went on there, St Kevin's just got it in a bit more control.
Yeah, they did. There's obviously a few things so that they're trying to do in terms of their movement up the ground boundary there, and he probably just lapsed up against it. But in saying that, it was a good start, pretty happy with that. You can see when we get it out to grass, that's pretty dangerous. So just got to be able to be a bit more composed.
There is Brent Sternberg down on the boundary for Old X with the coach of the Cardinals. Mark Nat, as the last of the patrons leave the arena around the grounds for the pass. We're closing in on quarter time in the Premier C Grand Final. Carey 3-2-20 leading the Hampton Rovers 1 straight 6. It's a 3-point lead in favour of Old Scotch here at Elsternwick Park. You were just telling us during the ad break, Greg, Marty Pask, who of course coaches the Hampton Rovers. We caught up with him earlier on the week. You have a nice relationship with Pasky?
Yeah, Pasky's a really good fellow. We interviewed him for the Brighton job, and he's son-in-law of Greg Wells. So he's a good man, Marty. He's done a really good job at Hampton Rovers as well, and he's got his work cut out just at the minute. He's a good man, good coach.
Petchy, that ground looks in really good order, Trevor Barker Rovers.
Oh, it's never not looked good down there at Sandringham. One of the best grounds in football around the world, you would say, down there. Second term for any time fitness underway down here. There's nothing in this game. Scotch lead by 3 points, and we're underway. Out of the middle, is it? Yes, Scotch go forward. They'll go to the scoreboard end. Tarrant stripped of the footy, gets it back again. Handball came out the side there towards Jack Brown, who got it back to Tarrant, who goes in short to 45. Came out to meet at his lean, who got a handball back to Cormac. Standing still, he kicks back inside the 45. No, it didn't go that far, and Scotch are going to get held up here, and Hodges does that on Jack Brown, and we'll have a ball up, or Henry Brown, a ball up just outside the 45-metre arc.
Grant whacks it inside 50. Sammy Cameron coming from one side of the ground. Harry Scott coming from the other, locks him up. We're now around 40 out from the Cardinals' goal. They're going to the scoreboard end in this second term. St Kevin's to the Glen Huntley Road end. A spot in the grand final on the line today. Tarrant palmed it down. Scott went looking for the body, and straight away Sammy Cameron had him wrapped up. Back-to-back stoppages to start the second term, all for any time fitness. In this quarter, Tarrant got over the top of Coates. Clean though, here was Andrew Matheson to this broadcast side. Gunson, he's got a ton of space. He thought about cutting him back inboard, tried to get to Richards, made it tough for him, so he had to go back and get it himself. He used his captain in Critchley, who didn't panic at all and picked out Hodges. So another mark for Cam Hodges on the broadcast swing in front of the St Kevin's interchange bench. He's quite happy to go backwards to Critchley. They're going to try and horseshoe the ground right across the ground to Nick Singh, who takes the mark in the opposite half-back flank. And now Cameron. So they're trying to just shuffle, Greg, the Cardinals' defence.
Yeah, they've done well, though, Scotch. They've done well to slow them down there.
So Cameron goes in shorter here. Singh marks. He goes further up the ground here to Tucker. And he marks Nepean Highway side of the ground, Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. He goes inside the 45. No, it stays short, and Hodges takes the mark out there, about 50 out from goal. So the breeze has really died down here. Wouldn't be advantaging either end at all. Hodges goes into the pocket in front, Cormac. And he's in front of Kerr, and he takes the mark here for Scotch. We're into the first 2 minutes of this second term. No addition to the quarter time score. Scotch on 3 straight 18. St Kevin's on 2-3-15, and Cormac Eventually kicks the ball out of danger. No, fist away. It came back to Stubbings. Valentine handball hit a Scott. Scott's a look away handball. It was along the ground to Simons. Couldn't bend down to pick that one up. Plenty of players around the footy. But he butted up Simons. He goes to 45. Handball over the top to Lean. Leaned into an open goal and kicked it. Well, there you go. How good was Angus Simons there? Out of defence, he did it all on his lonesome, really. He finds Lean for his second goal of the afternoon, and Scotch have kicked their fourth straight. They go into 4 straight, 24, leading St Kevin's 2-3-15. For Anytime Fitness, we have gone 3 minutes into this second term.
Yeah, so Hodgie had a ball outside 50, slow play inside. Charlie Cormack comes off his man, takes an intercept mark and starts counter-attack, and then St Kevin's are offside, and then Scott's able to score an easy goal. But it was a slow ball inside 50. St Kevin's have got to go inside 50 quick.
So back in the centre square, and it's been Angus Simons who's had a hand in all 4 goals. The magician at work on preliminary final day. Here's Tarrant going backwards to go forward. Here the Cardinals. Hayes didn't take the mark. He's got the support of his teammate Gunson, though, did really well. Pushed him off the football, won it back for his team. And St Kevin's can go forward as he's dealt with after he kicked it. Brilliant mark from Charlie Cormack going back with the flight. And they can switch the ground. So Stubbings has got Bennett riding shotgun. He gives to Matty now, and he's off to the races on the far side of Elsternwick Park. Up the line, Critchley went back with the flight, crashed the pack and left the footy behind. Lipscomb runs away from Sam Cameron on the non-preferred. He goes towards Harry Brown. It sneaks out the back to Scott. Sweeping handball back to Stubbings, who's at 35. To the top of the goal square. Simons is there, but off hands from Seaton. And it's the first blemish for the Cardinals today. 4-1-25, 2-3-15, 4.5 minutes gone in this second term, all for Anytime Fitness.
Let's go down to Brent Sternberg on the boundary.
Yeah, guys, just keep an eye on these St Kevin's boys. They've got the crosshairs on Ollie Barter. He was the one who knocked out Big Sing late in that first quarter, and they gave him the treatment here on the wing just a moment ago.
Seaton kicks the ball back in. Tucker takes the mark. Over the top there of Stubbing, centre wing, Nature Reserve side of the ground here at Elsternwick Park. 4-1-25 Scotch, 2-3-15 St Kevin's. They have the football in possession. Grant goes up close to the boundary line, sees it over. And we'll have a ball in, centre wing, out of sight of the ground. 5 minutes played in this second term. And a Lean kicking his second goal of the afternoon, running into an open goal. Only moments ago to give Scotch their fourth of the afternoon and a 10-point lead. Thrown back in, out of sight of the ground. Grant palmed it down. Henry Brown rode a tackle, then fell over. Umpire said, give it to me. I'll ball this one up out of sight of the ground.
He's asking the question, Henry. Thought about maybe he was taken high. So the umpire having none of it as Grant palms it down to Frenetic. You know he'll just dump it forward, and that's exactly what he does. Critchley on the slide. Didn't take the mark, and Tarrant jumped on top of him straight away. So the umpire will ask for the ball, but it has moved forward of the centre circles for the Cardinals. They've kicked the first goal of this second term for Anytime Fitness to put a 10-point advantage on St Kevin's. The umpire may have pointed the wrong way there, so Billy Coates will get a free kick in game 200. Four-time premiership player with the Scobbers, and now it's Jock trying to dance on a dollar and trip the line. Fantastic to get around Lean. He did, and then just kicked a vacant land. Darmody came flashing through, gave it to Walters. The ground opens up in front of him as he gives to Tucker, who's outside 50. Into the pocket. Kerr's got to go back. He's got the sit. Paddy didn't take the mark. Somehow Jones did well. Got back to Kerr. Floating ball across the face of goal and a minor score. He's just got some half chances at the moment, Hutchison, Paddy Kerr. He can't make the full percent of them all.
Yeah, it was better ball movement going inside 50 from Scobbers then.
That was quicker. And Scotch defence were just as good. So they kick the ball back in, the Cardinals, and unfortunately Hayes slips over and Gunson takes the mark for them. So right underneath us, 55 to 60 metres out. From goal, the PO Glenn Hutley Road into the ground he goes. But mark taken here by Grant for Scotch, and the defence will work it out again. Tarrant goes towards the outer side of the ground. Ball bounce in front of Barter and Singh, and it goes over the line out of play. We'll have a ball in. 7 gone for Anytime Fitness in this second term. Scotch 4-1-25, St Kevin's 2-4-16. Lean kicking the opening goal of this second term for Scotch. And the ball's between half forward and centre wing for St Kevin's. As the ball gets thrown back in, Coates palms it to the front of the pack. Tarrant rode it well. He got it to Stubbings. High up and under, kicks out of bounds on the full. Resultant free kick going Mansfield's way.
So St Kevin's are going to go forward again. It's a very similar start to this second term as we had in the opening term. So Nick Singh will get the free kick after they work themselves out. Seaton, captain of Sandringham in the St Kevin's lineup, goes to Mansfield now. Seaton ran past and Benny opted out of giving the handball. So he goes short, now get to Seaton, who doubled back. A little bit of possession footy here from St Kevin's on the outer wing. Thump it forward now to around about 50. Tucker with a big fly. Coates at the back did the roving. Tried to quickly get a handball to Darmody and missed him. Hodges was there to help him out. Mansfield followed up his good work. Terrific smother, and Lipscomb gets the footy, and Frenetic on the bounce can sweep into Ollie Barter, who's at centre half back. Almost flipped it over his head, back to Lipscomb, and now to Townsend. They're running in waves here, the Cardinals through the centre square. Polkinghorn back to Lipscomb, cut a sway through him, broke 2 tackles on the right foot to the top of the goal square. Critchley didn't take the mark, but he's earned the free kick. A high tackle against Lean, and Petchy, they're going to bounce straight back over this broadcast wing.
Yeah, that was hard work there by Scotch to get that ball forward, and St Kevin's defence have been able to work it out, bring it back towards centre wing. Grand in front, fist away hard, but Grand, that was strong right in front. Good strong mark by him, centre wing here for Scotch. 4-1-25 Scotch, 2-4-16 St Kevin's, and Lipscomb's got the football again. He's had a few possessions in the last passages of play, and he'll go just inside the centre square to Cormac. He'll go across the outer side of the ground to Bennett. He'll go further up the ground here, and Stubbings will end up with the football. He goes in short as well here to Henry Jack Brown, who gets the handball over the top here to Bennett. He got it back, he reeled it in. Left foot kick around the body, but he's lonesome his Coates, and he takes the mark.
Sorry, Simon. Both teams are just trying to keep possession of the ball, and both sides, as they go inside 50, if they kick a long one in, St Kevin's going to mark it either Critchley or Coates, and either back the other way, Scotch mark it. So they're really trying to play a similar way, short possessions, kicking, and then try and find someone, but they haven't been able to.
So Tucker's got it now. He was standing all on his own on the outer wing. He flips it to half forward for, looks like they're Benny Mansfield, but free kick's been found off the ball to Angus Hart. Jock will run by for the handball receiving. He'll give it. He'll go to Nick Singh. Kick and a half out from goal. He's got Jones and Kerr, his 2 tallest options. He checks the kick beautifully. Brilliant hit up is Ollie Gill, who takes it. Might take his best effort from almost the paint of 50, Greg. But like we saw in the first quarter, when they lower their eyes, they're effective.
Yeah, and they couldn't kick it in long because Clark was in the goal square, so he was going to catch it. Good lead, good kick.
This will set the fans alight behind the sticks if Ollie Gill goes back at the 11-minute mark and kicks his second. They're looking for their third. It'll bring the margin back to within a goal in this second term for Anytime Fitness. Take his best effort for this young man from right on the paint, Ollie Gill. They are up to their eyeballs in this one, St Kevin's. Forget the heartache of last week, they're up for the fight today, and Ollie Gill's kicked a couple. That's a brilliant strike of the football. It went every bit of the 45, Greg, and then carried.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Good lead, good finish. Billy Coates didn't do 50, just takes the mark, and he's been a great player in his 200 games.
Oh, no. Now, Greg, why would you bring a player off the ground who's just kicked his second goal from 50 metres out? Greg.
Oh, well, just part of the plan.
Don't tell me it's sports science Scotland, man. There's no way known Ollie Gill was planning to come off the ground 60 seconds ago.
Well, I did learn very, very quickly that you can rotate yourself out of a job.
Oh, it's sports science gone mad, Simon. That's what matters.
Absolutely, you can rotate yourself out of a job. Here's Walters, centre circles kick, Winter, high kick, down towards Hodges, held on to, and the umpire saw it. And Dennis has given it away.
You know what that is, Simon? Interchange is ready to go.
Yeah, you've said that for a long time now. I'm getting sick of that. Here's Hodges. He goes towards full forward, over the back as a handball here. Gunson's got it. He goes back, but not within the way. Now Lawrence standing still. He's besieged by Jones. Umpire says, give it a me, old ball it up.
Hodgie, he's been really important since about halfway through the first quarter. He's been really good.
So thrown up in the air, Kerr slapped it down, Windsor in the goal missed. It's going down to Brent Sternberg on the boundary.
Guys, I'll tell you who else doesn't like the rotations is Ollie Gill himself. He come to the bench and was shaking his head. What are you doing to me?
It's absolutely nuts. The adrenaline's pumping, the blood is rushing, and he's sitting on the bloody... No one in 160 years of Australian rules football has ever kicked a goal from the interchange bench, and it won't happen today, let me tell you. Charlie Cormack dumps it out of the danger zone. Big pack of players. It's rising on the ground. It's rising up here as they thump it back inside. Oh, the desk is rising. As Bennett goes across the face of goal, it's somewhat of a dangerous kick, but Clark makes it look really good. And he goes short now. And Stubbings.
Put the blood pressure pump on you. Let's see where you're at the moment.
Oh, it's rising. Just like it did when Olivier kicked Brighton into that grand final 2 years ago on this day, Simon.
Yes.
As you remember
Indeed.
well. I think I nearly jumped on top of you. I was that excited. Clark goes back inside the centre square. The mark has been taken as the Cardinals want to move it through the corridor. Andy Jalbart's got it in the centre circles of Elsternwick Park. They're holding an advantage against St Kevin's. Brilliant to Barter. Now will he lower his eyes or will he try and set one up for James Tarrant? We'll see where he goes. The next link in the chain is the magician, Angus Simons, who plays off from the pocket. Now you see him, now you don't, but he can't pull a rabbit out of the hat here. It's through for a minor score. Greg, does anyone in St Kevin's colours want to man up on the number 6?
Well, someone probably will, but they just haven't been able to just at the moment. And you heard Natty say at quarter time they wanted to come back through the corridor, went back to their ruckman, used an outside runner and able to get a ball inside 50 to an uncontested player.
Seaton to kick the ball back in, Ollie Gill back on the ground. Seaton goes in short, and that works okay. Ferrugia takes the mark out there. For St Kevin's inside defensive 45, goes short again to Walters, and he takes the mark. Nature Reserve side of the ground, out between centre wing and half back here for St Kevin's. 4-2-26 Scotch, 3-5-23 St Kevin's. High ball towards centre wing, no one marks, heads over, football everywhere. Pfeiffer got the handball up, but then the umpire says give it a me. I'll throw this in the air and try and get rid of the congestion. So about to be thrown back up in the air out of side of the ground, the P and Highway side of the ground here. And the umpire's blown the whistle. And he's found a free kick going St Kevin's way.
Billy.
And Coates will get it from that ruck contest. So Coates has it, handball, heard the call, gave it to Cameron. Kick towards half forward, and Pfeiffer nearly held on to it. Going down towards ground is Mansfield. He sees it over the line out of play and will have a ball in. So 60 out from St Kevin's goal. They're doing a fair bit of attacking now in this second term. We've gone 15 and a half in it for any time fitness. 4-2-26 Scotch, 3-5-23 St Kevin's. Scotch have led all of the afternoon so far. Thrown back in, Coates to the front of the pack. Richards there for him, received. Now he gets a kick. High kick towards Mansfield there. No, he didn't contest. He weighted down. He got the handball here to Andriski, who fell over in the end. Now it came back here towards Stubbings, who got a kick, but Coates takes the mark here for St Kevin's.
He might send it back in that direction. Of course, Kerr is lurking in the goal square. Coates gives it everything he's got. Darmody from the back. Here's Paddy, like a freight train. Almost smashed into the grass that heavily. A brilliant mark taken by Cormack, who knew Paddy Kerr was closing. And now Barter. Kerr slow to get up here, so maybe he did hit the deck and knock the wind out of himself.
Yeah.
Barter.
He's a big unit.
On the broadcast side, I would not want to stand in front of Paddy Kerr, let me tell you. As he goes in short to Jack Lipscomb, who takes the mark.
In the land of the midgets.
Oh, something. I'm happy to stand in front of Ollie Barter, that's for sure. Paddy just jump over me, I reckon, Simon. As Lipscomb goes down the line with the kick. Tarrant from the back. Ball hits the ground. Here's Ollie Barter. They're off to the races if they can sneak out the back. Jalbart tried to put it in the path of Scott. Sammy Cameron stole it, gave the don't argue. And Barter almost got the footy back, but Walters was clean. Sweeps the handball back in. He'll get it back, Will Walters. Now they're running. It's got to be a good hit. Charlie Cormack was terrific. That is why lucky Matt, Mark's son, says he's his favourite player.
Well, 3 intercept marks, one spoil there, and interestingly, Billy Coates has just come off for his first spell for the game. Handed over to
Angus Hart, it looks like.
Angus Hart, yeah.
Yep, so he contests that ruck. It goes inside 45. Lipscomb in defence. Oh, he had to ride a tackle from Gill. He did that okay. Ball still on the decks and Kevin's still alive. Handball came back out here to Winger. Underground. They're going to throw this one in.
Now, this is my frustration with this. Okay, this is my that was insufficient intent in the first quarter, not in the second term. You've got to be consistent, Simon, if they're going to do that.
Don't bring it up. That's all I'm going to say. Thrown back in again.
You've got to be consistent.
You do. Here's Clark as well. Frenetic. Handball, Gelbart. Handball, Lipscomb. There he goes. What are they going to do? They're going to ball this one in.
Pressure's rising, Greg.
Look, it's a terrific contest. Both sides,
It is.
It's been a really good contest. Both teams are really displaying fantastic attributes at the footy.
Thrown back in again in front of us. Clark won it down. Lipscomb again. Tackled, and the umpire says, give it away.
It's following a very similar path to the first term as we go downstairs to Brent Sternberg.
Dougie Lawrence down on the bench for Old Scotch. First time he's been there today, and he's just having a hamstring massage. He'll be back out shortly, no doubt.
I think he's had a couple of concerns with the hammies throughout the year. Keep an eye on that. Darmody, there's been a free kick, and it's going the way of the latest goal bringer, Ollie Gill. This one might be just beyond even Ollie's prowess as he goes to the top of the square. He got a fair piece of it. And Drisky from the back didn't take the mark as the ball hits the ground. Cormac, well, he's navigating the boundary line. He wants to keep it in now. That's dangerous from Charlie as Kerr jumps on top of the football. The umpire will ask for the ball.
Is there a need for a boundary line anymore in this game? Because no one wants to go over, do they?
No, they certainly don't.
Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Thrown in the air, right on the boundary line. Kerr grabbed it out of the ruck. Kick partially smothered. Al Richards tried to pick it up. He wasn't clean. Lipscomb was. Clears the dangers out. It may come back. Hart takes a strong mark. Around about 55 out for a goal is Angus. It's a stacked forward 50. Can he find Paddy Kerr? Can he find Sam Tucker? He'll go to the goal square. Tucker from the back did take the mark as it hits the ground. Stubbings is off to the races and the Cardinals will clear. It's a foot race on the far side of the ground. Simon?
He's had a good game, Stubbings. He's been in a fair bit of it today and he cleared the ball out. But Matheson there, Jock there working with him. Jock had to get around Polkinghorn. The handball went over the line out of play. And the umpire will ball it in out of sight of the ground.
I mentioned, Greg, it feels similar to the first term. Scotch kicked the first goal, and the last few minutes it feels like more of a St Kevin's game.
Well, it's just become a real battle again. You know, it was a hack ball out of D50 for Scotch. It was marked by St Kevin's. Then he went back in long and he had to. It's just been a real battle for them. No, and he's just given away a free kick.
Yeah, hard into the back there of Grant. He takes it down in defence. 4-2-26 Scotch, 3-5-23 St Kevin's. For any time fitness, 20 minutes gone in this second term. And he goes up towards Frenetic and he marks. Between centre wing and half back for Scotch. The P and Highway side of the ground, he kicks up towards Ferrugia though. He nearly bought the mark, took the mark and got to the ground, and Simon sees it over with him and will have a ball in. Centre wing out of side of the ground, hardly a breath of wind out there, ground in really good order. No reason why we won't see a good game of football down here today. It won't be spoiled by the breeze down here in Elsternwick today, that is for sure. About to be thrown back in between half forward and centre wing, and wrestling going on, and Hart gave it away. Frenetic goes forward. Scotch go forward to fall forward, out the back, Clark in the goal. Let's get it. So Clark from that contest in the goal square, he was agile enough to pick it up, put it on his boot, and get his first goal of the afternoon in Scotch's fifth. They go to 5-2-32. Leading St Kevin's. We await the scoreboard to come back. But
3 goals, 5.
3-5-23, and Clark kicks his first of the afternoon. For any time fitness, 21.5 gone second term.
And interestingly, you have a non-ruckman in Angus Hart rucking against a ruckman, gives away a free kick. Scotch go inside 50 quite easily and they score.
He's just a big man, isn't he, Will Clark?
He did that well.
For Old X, let's go down to Brent Sternberg.
Captain Sam Critchley's back out onto the full-back position. He's had his left quad heavily strapped.
It's back in the centre square. They've kicked 2 goals this term to 1. The Cardinals, and they've put that lead back out to 9 points. Andy Gelbart won't die wondering. Off to Frenetic, was just pushed off it by Richards, and Al will get the footy back. So off the back flank, brilliant from Singh. And Lam Gunson takes the mark. Cut back inboard to Sammy Cameron. Maybe some possession footy. It's been a frenetic 10 minutes in this game. 5-2-32 to 3-5-23 for Anytime Fitness in this second term. The preliminary final at 11-16 SEN right across the ground. It ends up with Sam Critchley. Got it from Sam Cameron, and he goes to Sam Tucker. So the Sams combine to get it to the outer side of Elsternwick Park. Run out of Sam, so he'll have to kick it to Angus Hart. That's what he'll try and do. In fact, there's Sam Grant who takes it. So there's a full Sam out there. Have you ever seen anything like it, Simon?
Well, we saw 3 nickels the other day for Melburnians at St Bernard's in a row.
So the Sams wax lyrical. Henry Brown cuts back inboard to Dennis at centre half back. He wants to come to the broadcast side. Jack Brown has to take the mark. And Seaton closed on him, but Jack was clean. His kick was not a good one, and Tom Jock takes the intercept mark in front of Ollie Barter.
So Seaton coming off the ground after that contest with Brown.
May have hurt himself
He
in the
has.
ribcage or the sternum.
Yep, got him right in the bread basket there, and the play goes on. So mark taken here by Matheson. So Andrew's got it half back, scoreboard side of the ground. He kicks towards half forward or centre wing. Bennett from the back with the spoiler punch. Fell into Hodges though. He goes towards full forward and the mark taken. Good strong mark by Cormac. And he wins the day for Scotch. Goes to Frenetic. He knew oncoming traffic was there, but he took the mark at centre half back for Scotch. 24 gone in this second term. 5-2-32 Scotch. 3-5-23 St Kevin's. Jock's got it, centre wing out the side of the ground. He got away from Tarrant easily. He goes back into the middle and Andriski takes the mark. He wanted to play on, but he comes back. He looks over the mark. Left foot kick. Goes towards the Glen Hutley Road end of the ground. Hard pushed out of it. And Cormac takes the mark here for Scotch and he brings it back. Goes to Grant. He marks inside defensive 45. Now brings it out. And the mark taken here by Polkinghorn. No, umpire told him to play on. Jock picks it up. He's brought to ground. Now we'll have a stoppage.
He hit the deck, unfortunately, for Polkinghorn, but he had a chance there, Greg, and now they get a chance here, St Kevin's, to lock it up and move it forward.
Yeah, a bit of congestion around the stoppage here. Charlie Cormac's been outstanding for Scotch.
He's taken a few intercept marks, and Jack Darmody will be frustrated that he let that one give away so easily. We've gone 25 minutes. They trail by 9 points, St Kevin's, for Anytime Fitness in this second term. Mansfield from outside 50 into the pocket. Bennett leads Hart to the ball, and easy pickings for Matty Bennett of the Cardinals in the back pocket. They're at the Glen Hutley Road end of the ground here. Scotch. Bennett down the line with the kick. Big pack of players. Tarrant was at the front, didn't take the mark. Mansfield tried to get it to Andrisk, who's on hands and knees. He closed to James Tarrant, locked it up. It spilt out to Walters. Dennis wrapped him up. So the umpire will ask for the ball around about 55 metres out from the St Kevin's goal, spot in which Ben Pryor kicked Brighton almost into the grand final last weekend. We'll have another stoppage in the same spot. Let's go downstairs to Brent Sternberg for Old Hex. What do you got for us, Brent?
Just a quick update, Joey. Anthony Seaton down here. He looks okay. He was on his haunches for a while as he crawled over the boundary line, but he's just sucking in the big ones. He's okay.
He's a tough nut. He's Anthony Seaton. On the grounds for the pass. Second term, Old Carey, 5-5-35 leading the Hampton Rovers, 3-1-19 in the Premier C Men's Grand Final at Trevor Barker Oval, the ground in which Anthony Seaton does his best work, as does Simon Petch. The two of them share plenty in common. One of them is an out-and-out legend of Sandy, and the other one is Simon. So, half back flank for the Cardinals. It's with Townsend, who goes down the line with a kick. Drop mark, open the door for Jalbert, and almost left the footy behind. He gathered it into the skipper of the Cardinals. He's been thrown 7-20, and the umpires let it go. Jock's picked up the football. He's been thrown over the deck. It's scrappy stuff. Now a whistle's been blown, Simon, and the Cardinals win back the footy with Valentine.
Yeah, it might be scrappy, but it's just really good, strong football out there. Every contest is a contest, and players are feeling it. Kick towards half forward for Scotch. Fist away from Frenetic and fell to the front of the pack. Hodges wins out here for St Kevin's at half back. Handball for Rugia. Away they come again towards half forward. And Jones takes the mark in front of Lawrence. No one to kick it to at the moment though. So Hart has to back into the pack. And Jones goes long. Close to the boundary line. This will lob and it will be over. And we'll have a ball in. So Jones having no one to kick it to there. No one inside the forward 45 for them at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. That's the end in which St Kevin's kicking this second term. We've gone 27.5. Scotch 5-2-32. St Kevin's 3-5-23. Thrown back in. Grant Fisher clear. Hodges roved it beautifully. Handball. Well, it missed the target because he was tackled. Now Jalbar Frenetic goes in. He's besieged here by Gill. And we'll have a ball up.
Good contest, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tough,
that's
tough
exactly,
contest.
yeah. Good, hard, tough footy this. On a really good ground. Thrown back in the air. Grant kicks it out of danger. Barter got there first and he slipped into play and he took the mark and he just said to his team to slow it down. 28 minutes gone in this second term. Barter kick towards centre wing, a bad one, and Critchley takes the mark for St Kevin's.
Reckon St Kevin's hurt them on the overlap. They trail by 9 points. We're nearing half time. Spotting the grand final on the line today. Critchley to go right back to centre half back and go through the centre square. It ends up with Jock to half forward and Tucker takes the mark. Good build up. There's 3 St Kevin's blokes on their own inside 50 as the siren sounds to end the opening half that has Scotch 9 points ahead of St Kevin's. 5-2-32 to 3-5-23 at half time. That second term for Anytime Fitness Australia's #1 health and fitness centre with over 520 clubs nationally. When you join one, you join them all. Before we do take a break and speak to the 2 presidents, Greg Hutchison, just a quick word on your thoughts from that first half.
Terrific contest. Both teams are really hard and tough and they're playing a really good brand of footy. Both they've been restricted a little bit when they've had to go deep inside 50, with both teams being able to roll off. Charlie Cormack's been outstanding, been able to come off and take a lot of intercept marks and have a really big impact. But it's a good contest, tough contest, which is what you'd expect from the second and third teams in the competition. So really enjoying the game.
It is half-time. We're into our half-time break for Homesglen, a major partner of the Ammos. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Paddy Mount from St Kevin's and Will Strange from Old Scotch are going to join me to chat all things these two sides and the 2024 William Buck Premier season, as Sam Critchley has his boys in a huddle in the middle of the ground. Andy Jalbart walks the Cardinals from Elsternwick Park. A 9-point advantage in favour of Old Scotch at half-time of this preliminary final.
The VAFA William Buck Premier Women's Grand Final is fast approaching. Elsternwick Park will be rocking on Sunday, September 22nd, as the 2 best teams in the VAFA Women's competition go head-to-head for the silverware. Tickets are available for our match day function and include a delicious carvery, a 2-hour drinks package and entry to the big game. It's the VAFA William Buck Premier Women's Grand Final. Head to the VAFA website to grab your tickets now.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
The 2024 VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final, Friday, September 27th at Elsternwick Park. A huge public holiday crowd will pack VAFA HQ and watch the top 2 teams fight for their slice of football history, and you can enjoy the day in style. Tickets are available for our match day function and include a delicious carvery, a 2-hour drinks package and entry to the big game. It's the VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final. Head to the VAFA website to grab your tickets now.
Any fitness, any ability, any goal, with 24/7 access to over 560 clubs around Australia. At Anytime Fitness, you will find your fit. Search Anytime Fitness today.
Listen in to the VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45 p.m. Listen via the app.
Half-time in the 11-16 SEN William Buck Premier Men's preliminary final in Old Scotch. 5-2-32 leading St Kevin's 3-5-23 around the grounds for the pass. It is the Premier C Men's Grand Final at Trevor Barker Oval. Carey 5-6-36, leading the Hampton Rovers 3-1-19, 21.5 minutes into the second term. As I welcome in our very special guests for this Holmes Glen halftime break, it is the two presidents of these two competing sides in Will Strange from Old Scotch. Hello, Strangey.
G'day, Joey. How are you?
I'm going great. And Paddy Mount from St Kevin's. Hello, Patrick.
Hi, Joey.
No, how are you from Patrick?
No, he sounds nervous, doesn't he?
Very
Sounds
nervous. What's going on over there? The bloke who's seen his team since 2011 playing every final series, either Premier B or William Buck Premier, apart from 2016. Mountie, it's a pretty good mountain to sit on top of, the one that St Kevin's have over the best part of the last decade.
Yes, it's been a very good run. Obviously, it came on the back of a number of years of heartbreaking finals in B grade. So it's a credit to the group to maintain the form they have either side of COVID. And today, a very special day for Billy Coates playing his 200th game, who is just a very humble man. I think he was hating the attention during the week and before the game, but he's just been such a warhorse for us at fullback and in the ruck. And not many people, I don't think, in the history of the game would have been a state rep at fullback and then a state rep in the ruck. So he's been a great player.
You asked about the footy and he started talking about codes and COVID and everything else.
Well, that's why he's the King President of the TH King Oval, Stranger, because as you know, as a president, as Paddy is, and a distinguished one at that, you don't ever answer the question that's put in front of you. You deflect and sort of you get an answer.
A politician, Joe.
Exactly. Now, Patrick, can we just, on Billy Coates?
Yes.
And I talked to Plugger Lynch about this maybe 2 years ago. The move from fullback into the ruck has given him a new lease on life, a rejuvenation to want to play footy. Not that he didn't want to play footy at fullback, but I imagine, not being a fullback, it would be as taxing as anything coming up against the best forwards in either Premier B or in A grade. And now when you're in the ruck, you are the starter to every contest.
Yes, that's right. And there's some big boys across the comp in the ruck. Old Scott number 44, Clark. I wouldn't want to be bashing up against him for 4 quarters. And but Coates's a great technical ruckman, and he's just done it so well. So he's been a great player.
Strangey.
Yes, Joey.
It's a bit different at the Old Scotch Footy Club, isn't it? It's not quite the 10 years in a row of playing in finals. And I did ask you yesterday, how long was it since you last won an A-grade final? 21 years when it comes to A-grade that you would have tasted success. You got the opportunity to play in the finals last year. You've played in some B-grade finals. You've played in a couple of grand finals. But to have the club back where I feel like you believe it deserves to be, inside the top 4, competing and obviously leading at half-time, is a really good place to be at the Camberwell Sports Park right now.
Yeah, look, it is. It's been a pretty dire sort of couple of decades. And for a club that has the history that we have, it's certainly against the grain of what we expect. At the moment, the 21-year hoodoo's gone. We had an 11-year hoodoo against Collegians. It's gone. It's a new group. They've been together for a while, and it's got an array of players that come and go every year. But what we've been building for a few years has really led us to this. A lot of investment, whether it's financial or whether it's mental, sort of cultural investments that are doing things. And certainly looking up to clubs like St Kevin's and others that have been at the top and said, what can we do better? And we're seeing the fruits of that at the moment. But at the end of the day, the W's that all that matter, and this is a win-loss game. So, we've taken a step forward this year, but if we don't win today, it's not the step we wanted.
You've got a coach that loves the fight, regardless of whether it's a home and away game or a final. You've got young players who, I think a bit like the players of 2017, the Billy Kanakis blokes who didn't know what losing was like. They don't have a fear, and Angus Simons is one of them. Ollie Barter's another one. Mackenzie Allen, unfortunately, not playing today. But you've also got the calm, cool heads, Aiden Frenetic, Andy Jalba in the middle of the ground. There's a nice balance to the way the Scotch team has been built under Natty.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because some of the kids that I speak to, 19, 20, 21, Ollie Barter, these types, they came through school and they won 5 games in 6 years. So they haven't come from a winning culture, and they walk into this place kind of with the expectation to lose. And speaking of the 19s who made a prelim this year for us, some of those were like, this is the best year of football I've ever had because we're winning. We're winning more than 1 or 2 games a year and getting beaten up on, which back in my history at school was the opposite. We lost 3 games in 6 years. So it is a little bit different for some of them, but they walk down here and they suddenly changed their mindset from schoolboy footy into this footy, and they're looking up to people like, as he said, Gel, Aiden Frenetic. These are genuinely fantastic characters, and if I had a son, I don't. If I had a son, I'd want to be underneath them. I want those people to teach my sons what to do, and that's just as you walk through life, not even on the footy field, but it also is a benefit that they're good football players. So character comes first, and we're certainly seeing the benefits of those characters.
And you're building a very nice culture around the whole football club. Of course, the reserves earlier on today against the St Kevin's reserves won through a stranger to next week, and then tomorrow the girls are playing each other in the William Buck Women's Grand Final. I don't know how you two are still hanging out together, to be honest.
If we go 0-3 against them this weekend, Joe, I'm leaving the country. So,
and I'm buying the ticket. There's one way. Don't come back, Pat.
So if I could just for a moment pull away from the men's side and talk about the women's program, and I had the great pleasure of speaking to Sarah Cameron earlier on in the week, who's back in your lineup and looking for collectively a 4th straight A-grade title, let alone playing in the grand final. What your team has done with the women's program, and Stranger, you can talk to yours in a moment, is nothing short of incredible. Now, people may, not quite understand the standard that St Kevin's has set when it comes to the women's program, but it is second to none, Paddy.
Yeah, it's a fantastic group. Just the general improvement in the women's competition over the last couple of years, it's like it's getting 10% better every year. And the group does have subtle changes from year to year. To get a girl like Hannah Smith into the side this year, she was runner-up in the league goal kicking, and you're like, well, what great fortune to have someone like that just walk through the doors. And I think it's deserving that the two sides are playing each other. Only lost one game each all year. I think it was less than a goal the time we beat Scotch, and then vice versa. So it should be a really good showcase of women's footy. And there's a nice little subplot with Paul Cooper and Dean Anderson, who are good mates and teammates at Hawthorn. So Coops is running our women's program, and obviously Dino is coaching Scotch. So I'm sure they've got a little gentlemanly wager on tomorrow, and obviously Tommy Purcell, chasing more history and
a former Scotch teacher as well. Obviously,
yes,
that's where he learned his craft.
Yes, he's.
Well, you let him go, didn't you?
Look, he was a substitute teacher, so
would have given you a few detentions, I would have thought, mate.
No, it's a little bit before my time. Sorry, a little bit after my time, Paddy, and a lot after yours.
Exactly.
So the Scotch women's program a couple of years ago was successful in winning a title. It wasn't the A-grade title, but it was a premiership nonetheless. And Dean Anderson has built the program, like Paddy has just mentioned, to be where it is today, that you are competing tomorrow in the grand final.
Yeah, look, Dino, it's funny, on Wednesday night I went down there and got around the girls, and they were, certainly up and about, ready for the game. And Dino gets in a huddle, and it's every player, ones, twos, training staff, anyone that was there, they bring them together, and it's this connection piece that they have, that they do it differently. And listening to Half at the St Kevin's lunch yesterday, which was fantastic, talk about how much coaching women's actually rounds you out. And watching Dean do that, he coached me 10, 12 years ago, watching him just empathise with them, understand them, he's the perfect character for them, but he also spoke about he's coached 21 years of football and won 17 flags. So if you talk about someone that's used to winning, and you can see it, if you ever hang around him, he's as impressive, and whether it's intentional or not, sometimes I question whether it's intentional, but he looks them in the eyes, holds them to account, but then will be the first person that they can lean on. In fact, he's probably the one crying on their shoulders. So Dean is a fantastic human, and certainly leads that program as well as anyone leading a program I've seen, and we can see the success. We certainly weren't there a couple of years ago when we were playing B and C grade, but we won those flags, and now we're up, after a year going straight into the finals, and this year playing as good as footy as anyone else. So, certainly excited to see what tomorrow holds for our reserves and the seniors.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and you can cover those games on vafa.com.au. In 2 quarters' time, we'll know who's playing against Old Brighton on Grand Final Friday. Just your own personal thoughts on the standalone marquee Grand Final for the first time in the competition's history.
Yeah, look, when it was announced, I said to Jason Reddick, I applaud the league for trying something a bit different.
Speak freely here, Paddy. Give me your real opinion. Tell me what you told me yesterday. Come on, mate. Don't go shy.
Well, I think there'd be some people out there who would have preferred it to remain on the Saturday, but we won't address that. But look, let's just see how it goes. Hopefully it's a big crowd, and I'm sure it'll be a good spectacle. We'll get a lot of media attention as well, I'm sure, being the only game of footy in Melbourne that day. So.
Mate,
Feel free to speak freely yourself. You don't have to ask him to.
I'll speak absolutely freely. Put it on Christmas Day. We're playing it on there.
Okay.
Look, certainly there's no doubt that it's stretched volunteers and others, and every weekend for the past 7 months now has been full up. So it does stretch it, I would certainly say, too long. And there's certainly the rhetoric out there suggesting that. At the end of the day, the proof's going to be in the pudding, and the ticket sales on the door next week will be the votes. So we'll find out. But certainly, if we're there, I'm not going to be complaining.
Who's got a bigger fan base?
Out of us two? Or
well, yeah, no, I'm not worried about.
I'd say St Kevin's. There's a big.
We want me to bring up Collingwood fans.
I would certainly say St Kevin's, because they've been on that train since they left B grade and C grade and D grade, where we never were down there, so we didn't get that success to kind of get that train for people to jump on board.
So 1978 was the last time you tasted A grade success. You've still got to win yourself through, and if you do, are you going to get some of those past legends down this week?
Yeah, there's a few. One right in front of us right there, Dave Bowden. An industry legend of Paddy's era.
Bodes, yeah.
But Dabba certainly was playing out there. Tallow, there's a bunch here, and we've brought them down to training this year, and they've spoken to them all. So,
and you've just run out of legends because you keep bloody making grand finals. Nearly dropped the F-bomb there. You keep making grand finals. And speaking of legends, you had one of them yesterday hosting this St Kevin's grand final lunch, the Big Shorts, who's demanded a statue for himself. But
so was Paddy, by the way.
No invite. Like, somehow I had a seat, and just communication's key in this game of ours.
We must have had the wrong email address, Joey. I apologise. We'll get you there next year, mate.
He did thank the dignitaries, and he started with Nathan Buckley, then Joey Pignataro, and I was like, Jesus, that's a drop, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, sorry, a step up. Sorry, Joey.
It's a drop for bucks, isn't it?
Now, Joe, it would be remiss of me not to mention a very special guest we had here today.
Yes.
Michael Piska has come along today to watch this game, and to think that it's only 2 months since that horrible incident, and just to see him here in such good spirits. He's pretty skinny. I quickly pumped a sausage roll into him, and we're trying to get him to put on a bit of that size. But just to see him here,
I've got the same issue.
And in such good spirits, it's certainly given everyone a lift. And he's got a big surgery during the week, so it's good to get him down.
And certainly from, we haven't had this conversation actually, but St Kevin's leading that charge, and you guys reaching out to the community, and obviously you thank everyone for their support, but Paddy, at the end of the day, you're doing this as a volunteer. That adds so much to what you're doing, and watching what you've done for him, and ultimately bringing the community together is something you've got to be really proud of as well, Paddy. So sorry about taking over there, Joey. You've got to take some credits, Pat.
Yeah, no, thank you, mate. And even just little things like, we really paid tribute yesterday to our club doctor, Kim Whelan, and our head trainer, Matty McCavanagh. And, Kim, he's just an absolute saint. Earlier today in the reserves game, there's a Scotch boy who got knocked out. Scotch's doctor wasn't here yet. Kim straight over there, treated him, assessed him, was able to provide advice on the best hospital to go to, all that sort of stuff. Like, that is just what this whole VAFA spirit is about, where you help each other out when needed. So, I went to great lengths yesterday to thank Old Scotch and all the other clubs who have shown great generosity and support for both Michael Piska and our club in general. Certainly puts a lot of strain on everyone, but we're glad that he's here today.
Absolutely, and we do wish him well on Tuesday with that big surgery that he has got coming up. The GoFundMe page is still up, still set up, and we still encourage anyone who has got a little bit of money to donate. Strangey, thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you, Joey.
Thanks,
Joey.
To see
Good
you,
man.
Paddy Mount. Enjoy the second half. Don't kill each other because you've got another grand final tomorrow.
There's a little bit of something in his throat at the moment. So.
All right, that's nerves. That's what that is for Paddy Mount. He hasn't been in this position for a while. We're about to get this third term underway for Heaps Normal, the official non-alcoholic beer of the finals series. Brent Sternberg, he's down on the boundary for Old X. Brent, did you get into that St Kevin's huddle at half-time, or did Plugger Lynch shut the door in your face? What's going on there?
I've got to tell you, Joey, I reckon there's an imprint of my face on the door. That's where I was.
Right.
It was slammed in my face. I tried to be a bit of a fly on the wall from the outside. Didn't hear a thing.
Okay.
Very, very quiet.
What do you think he would have said, Brent? What do you think Plugger might have said?
I reckon he might have said that, they got the game on their terms for the most part in the second half of the first quarter and most of the second, just butchering it a little bit, going inside forward 50. Got to clean that up.
Greg Hutchison is back with us. He's here all day for Community TV, and Simon Petch about to rejoin us to get this third term underway. Greg, if you are in the shoes of Plugger Lynch, what are you saying to the boys at halftime?
Just keep doing what we've been doing all year. Win the contest, be hard at it, don't bomb the ball inside 50, and we'll get it done.
Third term underway down here for Heaps Normal in this preliminary final. No next week for the loser and everything to gain for the winner. And Tarrant goes forward for Scotch early. He goes towards half forward. Cameron had hit his bootlaces. Lean sees it over and will have a ball in 45 out from Scotch's goal. Attacking to the Glen Hutley Road end of the ground in this third term. The Premiership quarter, they call this one. And there's nothing in this game. 8 shots to 7. 3-5-23 St Kevin's, 5-2-32 Scotch. They lead the way. Frenetic goes in the goal, goes with a kick to the pockets. And Joel Bart tried his valiant to keep it alive, but Ferrugia sees it over the line for a ball in the deep, in the right forward pocket here for Scotch, about to be thrown back in. So we're into the first minute. And they've done all the attacking in this corner. Coates got it out to Cameron. Oh, read beautifully. Gelbart, left kick around the corner. Oh, he read that beautifully from the handball. And Gelbart has kicked their 6th goal of the afternoon. They go on a 6. Well, the score's just gone down, but let's have another look at that. Left kick around the body.
6-2, Simon.
6-2-32 Scotch. St Kevin's on 3-5-23, and Gelbart, I'm sure it was Gelbart, has kicked his first goal of the afternoon.
Good tackle on the, not sure who made the tackle, but forced the turnover inside 50 and good snap by Gelbart.
Yeah, he was in the right spot, wasn't he? He just waited. He was in that contest only moments before then, near the boundary line, and he worked his way back to kick that goal.
The captain's goal to put the margin out to 15 points. We're back almost where we started when St Kevin's trailed Scotch with the first 3 goals of the contest.
He looks sore, Nick Singh.
We'll keep across that, and Brent Sternberg might keep an eye on the number 16 who's standing out in Gelbart just off the contest. Frenetic gets the clearance and the Cardinals go forward again. Simons this time in a one-on-one, it's fisted away, and Jock goes for a run through the centre square. He'll get it back and run away from Lean. He'll step around Grant. Class from Tommy. Brilliant. It bounced off the chest of Kerr. He did everything right in Tom Jock, and unfortunately it just bounced off the barrel chest of the number 10 for St Kevin's.
Didn't he just move through the middle like he was walking on air there?
It's beautiful to watch. It's poetry in motion when Tom Jock has grass in front of him. Dennis taken high, earned himself a free kick. So he goes quickly with Henry Brown. Gives it to him on the hands. Outer side of the ground. Cameron takes the intercept mark, and St Kevin's will go forward.
So rebounding the ball from back to forward, and here's Cameron. Centre wing outer side of the ground. Goes towards Matheson. Now Gill got it off. They're out of play and will have the ball thrown back in. So Scotch start off with a fly. They kick the first goal of the third term via the captain in Gelbart. They go on to 6-2-38. St Kevin's 3-5-23 for Heaps Normal. 3 minutes gone in this third term. Nature Reserve side of the ground. The ball thrown back in. Coates being held on, so he goes to ground with Grant. No free kick. Gelbart, he just flung the ball out. Goes towards Richards, towards the boundary line. Scott there, looked the handball, and he gave it off Frenetic, who gave it back to Scott, who got it back from Lean, who got it back into Gelbart, who runs along the boundary line, then out of play. And we'll go down to Brent Sternberg on the boundary as it goes over the boundary line.
Yeah, Nick Singh has come to the bench, boys. It looked like he was favouring his right leg. He's come off and he's having his lower back worked on, so he might have a couple of ailments there, the Scobbers winger.
So for Auto Sport Victoria, that injury update from Brent Sternberg down on the boundary. Greg, that's almost one of the first times we've seen the Cardinals try to use the handball and link up and run.
Yeah, well, they've got to try and break the game up all the time, and when they do run and move the ball like that, they're really dangerous because they get the ball inside 50 to a target rather than just having to bomb it in.
Here's Winter getting the clearance for St Kevin's. You feel like if there's going to be a chance in the run home, we need more of the number 3. Darmody somehow shoveled the footy forward. Brilliant smother from Grant. He came back the way of Richards. He sweeps the handball inside now to Jones, who runs away from Lawrence. He now gives to Sam Cameron, who may be running himself into trouble. Barter was brilliant. Ollie Barter was terrific, wasn't rewarded. And Lean picks it up, gives to Townsend. Now he can say, kick it a space and let the little magic man. Angus Simon's going to work. The little quads are pumping. He paddles it in front of himself. Seaton, strong and composed. Didn't panic as he gets to Darby on the side, right in front of Simon Petch at the Scotch interchange gates.
Simon's over there. he really wanted that footy, but Seaton was better at it. Now Darmony's got it right underneath us, commentary side. Kicks towards centre wing, high ball, high contest. Or nearly marked by Grant. He brought it down, roved his own work. Kick away by Scotch to centre wing, but Andriski takes the mark over the top there of Gelman. And he marks it half back, and he's going to swing it right towards the outer side. Now a handball. Now they'll bring it through Seaton. Back towards centre wing, and up they go. Tucker spoiled, he brought it to ground. Came back here towards Tucker now from a handball. That came from Walters. Kick towards half forward. Kerr goes to the boundary line. Pfeiffer's ended up with it, but a throw against Kerr. And Scotch win the football in defence again. They'll bring it back.
Be an option, Clark.
And Dennis has got it. He goes short to Stubbings and he marks at half back. 38 playing 23. Scotch had the lead for Heaps Normal 5 or 6 minutes gone in this third term.
So sweeps it across the ground. Townsend stops and props. Brilliant mark, Harry Scott, a Sharon mark of the day contender. In front of Matheson, nature reserve side of Elsternwick Park. Kicked the opening goal of every term, have the Cardinals so far. This third term, Andy Gelbart, the skipper, did just that. Here's Simons. He bounced off Seaton on the right foot. Up and down the chimney, Gelbart and Cameron too. Bulls go at it. Over time, we'll have it tossed in. Around about 50 out from the Cardinals' goal. They're in attack. Vacant land in the forward 50 if this one goes the way of Scotch. It's Tarrant and Coates to do the ruck work here. To the front is Winter. Tried to draw a man. Walters kept it in. Brought it back inboard. The mark not taken by Dennis. Hodges jumped on top of him. Shoveled it out though. Came the way of Matheson, who runs away from Hayes. On the left foot up the line. Bennett takes the intercept mark as we go down to Brent Sternberg for Old X.
Nick Singh, it was a hip injury. The physio's been working on him. He looks like he's fixed and he'll be back into the fray shortly.
Good on you, Brent. Thank you for that. And ball going forward again by Scotch. Cormac goes to Leno. He had to go. He saw Critchley coming and he stopped. And he allowed Critchley in to take the mark. So the ball was for him. Critchley read it better. And he took the mark in defence. Handballs off the jock who goes in short to Cameron. Oh, just a wonder when he was over. So what looked like going to be an easy mark. In fact, Cameron fumbled it over the boundary line in front of us. We'll have a ball in. 55 out from Scotch's goal. We await the ball to be thrown back in. 6-2-38 Scotch. 3-5-23 St Kevin's for Heaps Normal. Nearly 8 minutes gone in this third term. Thrown back in. Coates will get there first. Palms it to the boundary line. Tarrant rode it okay. Oh, Scott ended up with it. He dummied around. Handball out wide. Oh, Jill. The handball to Simons for the work. He goes in short. It didn't work. It goes to Valentine. Close to the boundary line. Ferrugia's season over.
Right idea though again.
Yeah.
Use handball out of the contest.
Let's go down to Brent.
Just coming from the ground for St Kevin's, guys. Looks like an abdominal injury of some sort.
Gee, a fair bit going on there on the St Kevin's bench, isn't there? Thrown back in deep in the right forward pocket. Coach front berth. Tarrant tried to kick it out of midair. Or Jock played for the free kick. And the umpire's not having any part of that. Because Clark, he ran into. Jock looked for the free kick in front of goal, but gee, umpires aren't going to pay free kicks in front of goal. They don't. They haven't for years. About to be thrown back in the air. Up they go. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Coates palmed it out. Fist away Gelbert. Back to Coates. Didn't travel too far. Cameron, umpire's blown the whistle. And Coates gets the free kick in defence here for St Kevin's.
And they get that free kick they're looking for after all. And Jock takes the handball receive. It gets to Winter, only just. Luke grabbed it with the one juke. 50 out from his defensive goal in the spot. Ben Pryor kicked that goal last week to equal the score against St Kevin's. So down the line, he sends the kick. Winter. Kerr is going to 1-on-2. And from the back, he's had the support he needed from Hart, who gives to Richards. We know he loves to run and gun. Al Richards drew a couple as he brought it inboard to Jock, who wants to take it back outboard. And he does to Gunson, who marks in front of Grant. So St Kevin's moving the footy with a bit of precision. Now Pfeiffer, half forward flank. Back inboard to Andriski. We know he's a lovely left foot kick of the football. Who's the next link in the chain for St Kevin's? He'll go in the Kerr direction. He's got a lead on, and it's a beautiful kick.
Easy.
Hit him on the chest, Greg. That was fantastic.
Yeah, good patience.
with the ball. Good lead from Paddy as well. Interesting, Cal Jones is playing almost like a defensive role on Doug Lawrence, and Doug hasn't been able to come off and support any of the defenders yet because Jones is doing a pretty good job on him.
So Paddy Kerr, who did kick 3 goals last week, kicked a couple of behinds early on in the contest. A goal here will bring it back to 9 points. It'll be a tough kick for Paddy. But the leading goal kicker, William Buck Premier, puts it on its way right to the goal line. It's going to go off hands and be rushed through for a minor score. So they move to 3-6-24. Scotch is 6-2-38, 10.5 minutes gone in this third term for Heaps Normal, the official non-alcoholic beer of the final series.
So Cormac to kick the ball back in here for Scotch. He'll elect the outer side of the ground. He goes in that area, out to Val. Oh, went right through him. If that was a custard tart, it would have splattered all over his face. That was an easy miss by Valentine. Down to you, Brent Sternberg.
He's back out there for the Scobbers. Liam Walters looks like he's okay. I think it was just a whack to the guts, but he's all good.
Okay, well that's good. So seems to be no problems at all with any of the St Kevin's players on the bench. Thrown back in out of side of the ground. Again, coach got a handball, a hand onto it. Handball there, Scott Lipscomb. Oh, he waited an eternity. Lean goes a kick towards Valentine, and it's out of bounds on the full. Resultant free kick to go St Kevin's way. And Ferrugia will take this one. Left foot kick up towards centre wing. Coates set himself, couldn't take the mark. Came out to Hayes, a handball. Lipscomb, oh, he misread it. It wasn't run down by him. It goes to Hodges. Hodges into goal, but it's marked by Stubbings. Last line of defence here for Scotch. He brings it out here towards Townsend, who goes to Dennis, and Dennis runs off half back. He heard the call inside for the handball. Stubbings gave it back to Polkinghorne. Scotch go forward with a wobbly kick though. Winter couldn't complete the mark. Picked off here by Scott. Handball back to Tarrant in trouble. And the umpire says, give it a me, old ball this one up.
Both teams have done a remarkable job at forcing each other out wide. No one's been able to come back through the corridor, and that's why no one's been able to score, because it's just going round the boundary all the time, and no corridor use. As soon as this team can get inside through the corridor, they're a chance to score.
Well, normally this time of the game, in the third quarter here, Greg, we sort of make predictions. My prediction is... Do we? Yeah, well, we do. My prediction is maybe 10 goals wins this game today. First to 10.
Maybe Jalva's going to
This will be a low-scoring game, and it is at the moment.
Might be first to 10 goals between them.
Yeah. Just one of those. We make predictions.
Well, we did talk about this in the pre-game. They're defensive units of both teams, and Scotch have been number one all year, and they've kept St Kevin's to 24 points for the game so far.
You know we won't be gagged making predictions.
No, absolutely. We love predictions on the broadcast. As Coach skips at everything he's got to the wing, Dougie Lawrence floats across the front, takes a contender for the Sharon Mark of the day on the VAFA logo, kept it low, and he picked out Winter, who took it on the grilled logo. There's logos everywhere at Elsternwick Park. Oh, Winter thought about going right back into defensive goal square. That would have been unnecessary. So Winter sends it down the line. Set a task for Hart, who went up before acceptance as easy pickings for Sam Grant, who this time wants to go into the corridor. Is there a build-up here from Polkinghorne now? He's in the centre square. He'll flip it inside 50. Tarrant direction with Coates. Oh, he got Billy out, Mark, but he dropped the ball. Critchley put on the deck. Tarrant now drove in after it. He shoveled it out towards Winter, who gave to Matheson, back inboard to Walters. Danced on the goal and just threw it away. Dropped back by Frenetic. Listen to the fans. The umpire will ask for the ball.
It's pretty hot down there, isn't it?
That's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
Terrific contest. Yeah, and that's what it is, a contest. Umpire wasted no time or Coach. Gee, they were barreled out of there. Was Brown. Now it ends up here with Matheson, and St Kevin's go forward with a kick or towards the outer side of the ground. It'll go over the line out of play.
Here we go.
And insufficient intent, I'll call that, just to please everyone. And it'll go back to Bennett, and he'll take the mark on centre wing here for Scotch. Left foot kick goes in towards half forward, and Singh back on the ground as Brent told us downstairs. Takes an easy mark on his chest. So Singh's got it for St Kevin's, not a real good kick. And Risky under pressure, got the handball. Now they're under pressure again in defence. Matheson had to get rid of it quickly. He did the jock on the 45 arc logo. Okay. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Oh, well done, Hodges. Oh, he got around them easily. That was Townsend. He opens the door for himself. He goes to Darmody. Darmody can kick the goal, and he misses. Scoreboard side of the ground, he misses.
Through the corridor. Gives them an opportunity. Probably should have hit someone at the top of the square there, Darmody, I reckon. Yeah, that is Kevin's bloke on the other side.
You can see the whites of his eyes from here, Greg. He just wanted that. 6-2-38 Scotch, 3-7-25 St Kevin's. 4 heaps normal, 15 gone in this third term.
So Cormac to bring the footy back in. They've left a bit on the table here, St Kevin's. Not a great kick from Cormac. Walters did well and ended up taking the mark.
Yeah.
So he fisted it away from Stubbings, and then he ended up clunking it on the second attempt. And the young man has to go back here and kick his 5th goal of the year and keep St Kevin's to within striking distance. He gives the Jock from outside the 50. Tom Jock has got it! What a hit from Jockey!
What a goal.
You need your big players in big moments, and Tom Jock's right up there. That's from the top shelf, Simon Petch.
That's from a standing start, Greg. He was just there and he just kicked it.
Yeah, I don't think Mark Nat would be too impressed with the guarding of the mark to allow Tom Jock to get a handball receive from someone that's inside 50 by 40 metres out and get a handball receive. I don't think he'd be too impressed with that.
What about that on the community TV replay? That's one of the goals of the year, all for Grilled. Cracking kick from Tom Jock.
Silky skills.
They're back within 7 points, Simon.
Yep.
Halfway through the third term.
It's really levelling up, but there's still nothing in this game, even though it's stretched out. Back into the middle, Henry Brown tried to get it out. Oh, Walters tackled in, now Polkinghorn brings it back high up and under kick. Centre half forward, Valentine nearly reeled it in. Now Scotch inside 45. And a free kick going Valentine's way for being held on to. So they contested the mark. Held on to afterwards, and Ryan Valentine at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground will go back and have a shot here for Scotch to bring that margin back to where it was just moments ago.
Wouldn't this suck the air out of the balloon, Greg, if Valentine goes back and kicks this from the clearance?
Certainly would. Centre clearance and inside 50. It's, as you said, it will suck the air out of them.
So kick one so far today. At this same end in the first term, Glen Huntley Road into the ground. He's just outside the 45-metre arc to stretch the margin back to 13 points. Valentine into goal. Does he like it? No, he doesn't. And a minor score, taking Scotch on to 6-2-39. Or 6-2-39, 6-3-39. St Kevin's 4-7-31. 17 and a half gone in this third quarter for heaps normal.
Around the grounds for the pass, we've just started the third term at Trevor Barker Oval. And Carey holding sway by 29 points against the Rovers. As Cameron gives to Pfeiffer out of side of the ground, Jack Andrisk has some ground in front of him. He runs and guns to Kerr in a one-on-one. Terrific mark from Paddy. He outmarked Bennett, can turn and go quickly. It's an open 50 arc. He thumps it in there now. Darmany's got out the back.
Good kick.
Great kick.
Good kick.
Great kick.
Great ball movement from St Kevin's, the length of the ground, Greg Hutchison.
Yeah, good. Handball out of the D50. Hit the guy when they needed to, and a great kick from Paddy there.
But well positioned by Darmody too to run into that space because he was fairly close to the boundary line. Everything had to work.
So Jack Darmody has the opportunity here to put the margin to 2 points after Tom Jock kicked a goal 2 minutes ago. Ryan Valentine has just missed, and now they're looking for 2 in a couple of minutes. Closing in on time on of the third term. We know this young kid is a rising star. He is a goal kicker. Is Jack Darmody. He's done it before in big games. From the pocket, this one's missing. Big pack of players in the goal square. It goes off hands, and Will Clark navigates it over the line, and the umpire says that's okay, Simon. So it is 7 points. We've got 19 minutes for heaps normal. 6-3-39, 4-8-32. Scotch have the lead.
And they go to the outer side of the ground, and now Cormac has it. As Greg said earlier, one of their better players so far on the ground is Cormac down in defence for Scotch. Nepean Highway side of the ground. He goes towards centre wing. Angus Hart eyes only for the footy. Has he completed it? Yes, he has. And Hart takes the mark out there for St Kevin's. So they'll rebound it back into their forward area. Cameron does just that. He goes towards half forward, but Grant marked and played on straight away. He looked for Scott with a handball. Brown goes through. Umpire blows the whistle again. And it's coming back, and Pfeiffer has got it here for St Kevin's. Right on the point of the centre square. Low ball to full forward in front of Brisky. I know, Jones it is. Gee whiz, Jones has taken it directly in front of goal.
Got the ascendancy, Greg.
Well, Scotch have just lost their run. St Kevin's have had a lot more run in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game, and Scotch just haven't been able to. Charlie Cormack went down the line, another long, slow ball down the line. They've just got to try and change direction with the ball again and use their run and carry. And when they do that, Scotch, they're a really good chance to score. But otherwise, it's a good one-on-one mark by Kel Jones too. Doug Warren's a good player, but just got outmarked on that occasion.
So first goal to Jones for the afternoon. That takes St Kevin's on to 5-8-38. Scotch 6-3-39. A point the margin in favour of Scotch for heaps normal. We have gone, as we await the scoreboard to flick over, around about...
There it is on the screen in front of you, Simon, the
There
community
it
TV
is.
screen.
We've gone 20 and a half minutes in this third term.
So 6-3-39 to 5-8-38. We've got a 1-point ball game, the close one. We haven't had too many close preliminary finals in William Buck Premier across the last decade. Of course, last year it was all square at three-quarter time, 29 apiece before St Kevin's blew the Uni Blues off the park with 9 last quarter goals, and Tom Jock was part of that day. Richards gives to Cameron, tried the don't argue on Scott, he got it back to Jock somehow, outside 50, goes in the pocket for Kerr! Oh, Paddy dropped the mark, easiest one of the day, and he didn't take it in front of the scoreboard. Brown, up and down the chimney lean, didn't take it, being rewarded a free kick.
Gee, that was play of the day.
So Cooper Lee takes the free kick on the half-back flank. He's asking his teammates to just steady up. Valentine went up before acceptance. Stubbings as it rose the ground. He can shoot it into goal. He puts Clark in a one-on-one with Critchley. From the back, the big man didn't take it. Sam's at the fall of the ball. He paddled in front to Walters. Now to Andriski. Kick smothered by Valentine. Scotch can open up the field. The magic man Simons, we know he's dangerous. Back to Brown. His boot comes off the side of the ball. Hayes. Now that went about 4 metres. How's he paid that mark? I'm not sure about that one, Greg Hutchison. I'm not sure about that one.
No, good play by Valentine though to smother the ball and keep it inside 50.
And Ben Hayes can go back and respond, Simon, to the last 2 St Kevin's goals.
Well, it was a kick off the side of the boot, really. And the umpire obviously judged it travelled its fair distance.
Wow, 15 metres has changed since I last ran 15 metres, Simon.
Can you measure out 15 metres, Joe?
Well, not between you and I right now. Ben Hayes to give the Cardinals back a 7-point lead to the Glen Huntly Road end.
Oh, he likes it.
He's got it. Gun barrel straight. Margin goes back out to be on the goal. 22 and a half minutes gone in the third term.
Against the flow of play, wasn't it? St Kevin's have been really dominating, and that was, Scott should be happy to get that one back because they were starting to slip away a little bit, albeit not on the scoreboard, but in general play, St Kevin's have had the better of them in the last 10 minutes.
They sure have. Some passages of play there from St Kevin's has been magnificent, and Jock has been in both of them.
It feels like they're willing to roll the dice, Greg, here, St Kevin's. It's almost a now or never type opportunity for them.
Well, you're going to roll the dice. There's no next week.
No, that's right.
No, correct.
Doesn't matter. You just got to have a real crack at it here.
Yeah.
Good play by Valentine to keep the ball inside 50 then.
So mothballs for the side who gets beaten for next week. Here's frenetic out of the middle. Scotch go forward again. A wobbly kick off. Critchley. Oh, he's underneath it for an eternity. It hung in the air like the proverbial. And he took the mark. Brings it back out here to Singh. And Singh takes the mark and goes very short here to Richards. And he takes the mark inside defensive 45. Commentary side of the ground before he ran out of ground. Kick towards half back and centre wing. They set themselves in from the side. Townsend could have marked. Flicked out here to Lawrence, having trouble picking that one up. Goes over. And the umpire says we'll ball this one in. Brent, down to you on the boundary.
Just had a look at the Scobbers bench. Tom Jock is just having his shoulder re-strapped. There's no structural issue. Some of the tape has just come loose. He'll be back on shortly.
It's because he's been running that bloody quick. The tape's blown off him. So on the broadcast wing, 7 points the margin. Tom Jock's having a big say in this game for St Kevin's, as is this young man Walters. Acquitted himself well on the big stage. Across the ground he goes with the kick to Cameron. Also racking up the numbers across the half-back flank. He does the 180 on Ben Hayes. It kicks to the centre square. Mansfield gives the hairball off to Matheson. A wobbly kick goes inside 50 through the legs of Bennett. It spills out the back to Darmody on the left foot to Kerr.
That tackle was enormous, but it released the footy.
So Paddy Kerr has got to go back. He hasn't kicked a goal yet today, the sharpshooter of 2024. Every modern day footballer does these J-curve things. 2 steps around on the right foot, whack, and goal. No!
Oh!
Not according to the goal umpire, a minor score. He keeps it skinny. An even 6 points in the third term for Heeks Normal.
The crowd on the behind the goals, I think they were
they
trying
went
to
up.
suck that goal umpire right in.
They went right up for it. 5-9-39, 7-3-45 in favour of Scotch.
Only a goal. The margin. And here we go again. Handballs, all Bennett in trouble. Straight away, well done by Gill. Brings him to ground. We'll have a ball up right in front of goal here for St Kevin's. So as Greg said, they're doing all the work at the moment. They just still can't hit the front. Thrown in the air, no one went at it. Over 5 for it fell here towards Stubbings. Gets a kick out of danger momentarily. Here's Coates though, spins around, saw someone there. It was Richards who goes in short and kicked it out of bounds on the full. Right underneath the scoreboard. We've gone 26 minutes in this third quarter. Scotch 7-3-45. St Kevin's 5-9-39. It's down at the St Kevin's end. Dying stages of this third term. So Gelbart's got it. He brings it back towards Valentine and a fist away Tucker. Ball fell to ground. Cameron trapped it beautifully. Simons has hold of him as well. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll throw it in the air.
Greg, I just wonder with the kick from Richards, they're pressing whether the pocket's the right option rather than the money shot to the top of the square.
Yeah, look, when you're under pressure in a game like this, it's really hard to know. Sometimes you just got to try and do what you do. And Al, if he had his time over again, he probably would have gone to the top of the square. But there's a lot of pressure on in the game. It's been fantastic.
So we're in the centre square. Simons is closing on Sam Cameron. Angus throws him 180. Manages to navigate a handball to Mansfield. Sweeps it wider still to Richards. Now to Cameron. Another little shake and bake through Sammy. From the back goes Singh. He's under duress. Stubbings won the footy for the Cardinals. Put it to space and vacant land. Critchley came from one side, lead the other. That was big, and Sam stood up, and Cooper came back at him.
He came back at him all right. That was a great contest.
None given, none asked in this preliminary final. 50 out from the Old Scotch goal. They're holding a 6-point advantage. 27 minutes gone in this third term. All for Heaps Normal on 11-16 SEN. Thrown back in. Payne of 50. Coates at the front. Didn't take it. Clark. It's built out the back the way of Scott. Now Frenetic gets the football and Billy's got him. Somehow Aiden found boot to ball. It wobbles into the pocket. Will get over the line. They'll ask the question, and Nick Singh is quite happy to see the paint of that boundary line, Simon, because we'll have it thrown into the pocket.
They like seeing the paint of that boundary line. Be nice if we didn't have one. Be great.
Aiden Frenetic's in a bit of trouble here, I think.
Oh, no,
I don't
you're
think
right.
he won't be playing next week.
From that last contest, yes, I noticed that too, Greg. So that's a danger sign for him and free side. And Simon stripped of the footy. And Richards will take the free kick here for St Kevin's. 28 goal third term. Scotch lead 7-3-45. St Kevin's 5-9-39. And Richards goes straight up towards centre wing, in from the side. Oh, gee, Hart nearly completed it. Underneath, Stubbings got the handball out. Cormac goes over the top of Tucker, and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. No inch given him at all. It's been like this all day. It's just been a great game of footy. Low scoring, but gee, the contests have been terrific. Coates hit that one down. Henry Brown held on to by Richards. Ball comes back in underneath. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
7-3-45, 5-9-39. Aiden Frenetic has just walked off the ground, pretty despondent. We'll get an update from Brent Sternberg in a moment. Down on the boundary line, Brown shoveled it out, stolen by Winter, got it to Walters. Somehow the little man found a way through. He's kicked the centre half forward. Is a dangerous one. Got to go back with it, Gunson. It bounced awkwardly for Critchley. Here's Andy Jalbert flashing through. He's been given a free kick, has he?
Critchley.
Or has he got Sam?
He's got Sam in the head as he's gone through, although the umpire's
He's given him the free kick.
Going the other way.
So a free kick to Andy Jalbert.
Critchley's getting up wondering what the hell happened there.
So there's two skippers collide. I'm not sure if we can get that on the community TV replay, but maybe it's the
I think what happened
below
is...
the knees?
Yeah, below the knees.
Yeah, okay.
Put his head there, yeah.
Gee, it was quick. Here we go.
So
Here we go.
Andy Jalbert on the community TV
Just
replay.
missed, yeah.
So the man who kick-started the third term with a goal for the Cardinals has the chance to put the margin back to 12 points from long range.
Yeah, Critchley went down, and that's where he was collected. Joe Barker free hit.
Right on 50, doesn't hit it at all well.
Yeah.
Out of bounds on the full. Well within your rights, I reckon, Simon, to have the shot. Unfortunately, he didn't hit it at all well.
No.
Anthony Seaton's got it in the back pocket.
All right, so St Kevin's 5-9-39, trail by a goal. Scott 7-3-45. 30 minutes gone in this third quarter. Here's Lawrence in from down from defence. Now Scott's got it. Goes high, goes long towards full forward. They'll set themselves. Oh, nearly a good mark. Taken down there by the Scommers defence, but the umpire called play on, and Critchley, who's up and okay, applies a tackle. Down to Brent on the boundary.
I'm struggling to ascertain what's happened to Frenetic, but he's gone straight to the back of the bench. He's sat down. None of the trainers have gone to him, but the coach has gone and given him a pat on the head, and I think despondent is the right word, Joey. He is very upset.
Thrown back in, Coates Clark both got a hand onto that one. He's Tarrant, he roved it beautifully. Oh, he ran out of ground, though. Walters applied a great tackle. And the umpire will say, give it a I'll ball this one up right in the forward pocket here for St Kevin's, or for Scotch, doing all the attacking in this third term that the Glenn Hutley rode into the ground. Clark and Coates go at it. They may run out of ground here. Gelbart's got it. He got a handball. Now it's cleared here by Critchley. They worked in a phone booth, but they got it out, and it's Mark Bennett. No, he couldn't complete it. Fell down into Hart. St Kevin's go forward, high up and under kick. Fell here towards Dennis now. Here they come. They're running. Darmany's there. Gill's inside him, but it's stolen in the end there by... And it doesn't matter because the siren goes at the 31.5-minute mark, and Scotch still retain the lead. 7-3-45. St Kevin's 5-9-39. And we've only got 6 points in this game as we turn for the last quarter of this preliminary final.
Before we take a break and get into the final term on 11-16 SEN, just had a little nod from the president of Old Scotch for Orthosport Victoria. It looks like a hamstring for Aidan Frenetic, as we said, despondent as he walked off the ground. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we have got 30 minutes left of this preliminary final. Old Scotch have got a 6-point advantage, 7-3-45 to 5-9-39. Brent Sternberg will go over to the St Kevin's huddle and have a quick word with Anthony Plugger Lynch. After this, the final term on 11-16 SEN. Who takes on Old Brighton in next week's grand final? We'll find out in half an hour. Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
The 2024 VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final, Friday, September 27th at Elsternwick Park. A huge public holiday crowd will pack VAFA HQ and watch the top two teams fight for their slice of football history, and you can enjoy the day in style. Tickets are available for our match day function and include a delicious carvery, a 2-hour drinks package and entry to the big game. It's the VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final. Head to the VAFA website to grab your tickets now.
Listen in to the VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Three-quarter time at Elsternwick Park in the preliminary final for 2024. 7-3-45 Old Scotch. They lead St Kevin's 5-9-39. We have not had a close final in William Buck Premier at this weekend of the year in a very, very long time. And Greg Hutchison, as I welcome you back to the microphone, we are in for a grandstand finish at Elsternwick Park.
Oh, it's a wonderful contest, Joey. Some sore and tired boys out there, and it'll really go to the wire. It's been a fantastic contest. Both teams have been really hard and tough at it, and great pressure around the ball, and no one's been able to open up and get some easy uncontested ball. So credit to both teams, and it certainly will go to the wire.
No question about that. Around the grounds for the past, the Premier C Men's Grand Final. Carey have pulled away from the Hampton Rovers. 12-7-79 to 5-3-33. There's 17 minutes gone in the third term. And Division 3 Men's, St John's 9-4-58 lead Canterbury 6-16-52. St John's have had their nose in front all day, and that is at three-quarter time. You can watch that one on vafa.com.au. Let's go into the mind of yourself, Greg. If you are, let's start with the Cardinals, who have the 6-point advantage. What are you imploring your troops to do in the last 30 minutes?
Just to keep playing how they've been playing all year. Use the ball, get the ball to the outside, run and carry. They can't bomb it inside 50 because St Kevin's are really good at that. Critchley's been good. He'll come off and mark it. Ferrugi is really good in the air as well, and Coates will drop back and support. So Scotch, you just got to continue to try and run and come back through the middle, a bit like Natty said at quarter time. They haven't used the corridor enough, but to St Kevin's credit, they haven't allowed them to do it.
What about the flip side? The team that has made the last 5 William Buck Premier Men's Grand Finals, 30 minutes away, and they need a couple more goals, obviously, to hit the front to reach a 6th. If you're Anthony Lynch, what are you saying?
Look, Joey, they've been really unfortunate. I think they've probably played a little bit more attacking footy than Scotch. Their run and carry's been really good. They've had lots of opportunities. They've been having shots at goal from out wide, so they haven't been able to make the most of their opportunities. Again, same thing. Just win the ball at the contest, get the ball to the outside. Coachy's been good. Al Richards needs to give them something, some run off half back and penetrate the ball inside 50. Lower the eyes, hit up the big blokes there, but you can't bomb it in because Lawrence will come off and mark it.
Tom Jock in that third term set it alight for St Kevin's. Is there an opportunity to eyeball him and say, Jockey, give me the best 30 minutes of your life here right now?
I'm not sure you need to do that with him. He's a good player, an experienced player, and he hasn't played a lot all year, so you've probably got to manage him as well. I know you've got to win it, but you don't want to sort of blow him up in the first 10 minutes and then not have him for the rest of the quarter. He's a good player. He'll know what he has to do.
The flip side is Aidan Frenetic just walked off the ground with a couple of minutes to go. It looks like he's done a hamstring and done for the day, and if they are to progress, unlikely to play next week. If that gets through the group, you don't want to see too many heads go down, though.
No, look, people deal with injuries all the time, and you lose blokes, and that's why they're strong enough. They've been playing footy together long enough to know that that's just part and parcel of the game. Disappointing for Aidan and disappointing for Scotch at the moment, but they'll move on pretty quick from that because they have to.
Let's go downstairs for Old X to Brent Sternberg. I can see him right on the wing. And Brent, if Plugger walks past you, just grab him and give us your thoughts on this one as we go down to you.
He's just taking some of the water in. Plugger, you mentioned there that your boys love these close finishes, and I'd imagine you're probably going to get one here. You'll back them in?
Yeah, of course, mate. No, this is what you play footy for, the big stage, and the game's on the line. So I've got full faith in our guys. They won't hand it to us, but we've been here before, and I'm confident we can get it done.
Feels like you've been probably the better team since maybe the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. Just got to try and get it on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, look, they're just so good behind the ball in the air. We're just going to be able to hit up. Bombing away doesn't work. They're too strong in the air. So if we're disciplined to our task, we'll give it a good crack.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.
There is Brent Sternberg down on the boundary for Old X, catching up with the coach of St Kevin's, who have been here before, Greg. And 12 months ago, it was 3-11-29 to 4-5-29 at three-quarter time. And it wasn't quite the same level of intensity against the Uni Blues. They ran over the top of them with 9 goals in the final quarter. I don't think that's happening today.
I don't think they're going to kick 9 goals in the last quarter. Scotch have been really good all day. They're not going to roll over. It's going to be a fantastic quarter. And Plugger's right. They just need to keep doing what they've been doing. They can't afford to bomb the ball in because, both Dougie and Bennett have been really good down there. And the ruckman's been rolling back as well. So they can't bomb it in. Got to lower the eyes, hit the leading forward.
Well, we're just waiting for the last of the patrons to leave the arena, and the final term coming up for Holmes Glen, the major partner of the Ammos. If you haven't got it locked on 1116 SEN or Community TV, tell those people to bloody put it on, because, Simon, we're set for a grandstand finish. We've waited an eternity for a prelim to be close, and we finally got one.
Well, Scotch have led at every break.
And they've kicked the first goal in every quarter.
Quarter time by 3, at half time by 9, three-quarter time by 6. So can they hang on, or will the will of St Kevin's bring them home? It's going to be a grandstand finish. We know that. We did say around 10 goals may win the game. First to 10 may be the winning score, but we're about to find out as the patrons slowly make their way off the ground for the pass over at Trevor Barker. Carey a long way in front, 86-33. Down to you, Brent, on the boundary.
Just keep in mind, Simon and boys, the Old Scotch boys are a player down. Frenetic is gone with that left hamstring, and now he races the clock.
Okay. So ball to be thrown in the air for the final time in the preliminary final in the centre square to start the quarter, and a straightaway. Coach Bear hugs. Henry Brown in the middle, and we'll have another ball up just outside the centre circles. Thrown in the air. No one really touched that one. Still inside the centre square. Hodges gets his hand onto it first. He breaks a tackle, goes for the kick. Inside the 45-metre arc. Well, they came out to meet it. They bend down. It's Pfeiffer. He goes in shorter here. And Gill takes the mark. For St Kevin's 43 metres out from goal. Directly in front of the Glen Huntly Road into the ground.
He's been an unlikely hero for them, Greg, in the forward line, this young fella.
Yeah, he's done a good job. And interestingly, Scott started Tarrant, Clark and Valentine forward, which hasn't been their MO for most of the day at the start of the quarter.
He's kicked 2, this young fella, Simon, today. 2 in the first half.
He's sucking the air in there, Gill. That's for sure. As he runs to the 45-metre arc. To level the score for the first time today. We haven't seen scores level since the start. Here he is. Gill into goal. Does he like it? No, he doesn't. Minus score. 5-10-40 St Kevin's. 7-3-45 Scotch. 5 points the margin for Holmes Glen. 1.5 minutes elapsed in this final quarter.
So listen to the noise behind the goals. Harassing Charlie Cormack as he brings the footy back in. He wants to go straight up the corridor. It's a good kick to Clark, who takes the mark at the point of the centre square. The big fella goes to Lipscomb, 15 metres wider, and he takes the ground in front of him to Stubbings. Outer side of the ground on the wing. He's held up on the mark, is Harry Stubbings.
He can't go long because Billy's back there.
He's going to have to now because he's been forced to do so. He goes in that direction, exactly how Greg Hutchison called the play. And Billy Coates takes an easy mark. He goes to his captain in Sam Critchley, who comes to the broadcast side. Gill, got to be strong against Brown. He dropped the mark. It opened the door for Andy Jalbo, who left the footy behind. Gill went back after it. It came to Hodges, who's had a terrific day. Sweeps the handball to Gunson, another one to the running man in Jock. Hey, look at him. He's just poetry in motion for Tommy. Time stands still when he has the ball. Brilliant kick back inboard to Walters, who's in the centre square. Across the ground, and the man who's singing in Nick Singh. He can go inside 50 if he likes. From right on the paint of 50. Singh goes into goal. Bennett's on the line. Oh, he dropped the mark, but he had time to gather it back in. He put the ball on the deck, and then he goes in short for Lockie Dennis.
Oh, gee, Sing. It could have been Sing, but it just wasn't. The old Johnny O'Keefe.
He had Paddy Kerr that was on a lead, and Bennett rolled off. He had to hit Curry.
He had to, but didn't. And Jack Brown's got it here for Scotch. Deep on the boundary line, just inside defensive 45. Goes short to Henry, to Jack, who goes back into Noblet, who kicks it out of bounds. No, it stays just in. So mark taken here by Simons. Scotch lead by 5. 3 minutes gone in this final term for Holmes Glen, and Simons has got it. Centre wing, bad kick. Open the door to Jock, and away goes St Kevin's, maybe through the middle. No. Jock's looking there. Now he'll kick long. He'll go to half forward. They'll set themselves all in from the side. Nearly a good mark. Taken there by Jack Brown. They get it back, Scotch. High up and under kick. Up towards Tarrant and Cameron. But Cameron takes the mark on centre wing here for St Kevin's. Well, hang on.
He's paid it the way.
Yes, he has. It's coming back. And Cameron to settle things down. They trail by 5. We've gone 4 minutes in this final term to St Kevin's.
Sharon Mark of the day contender. There's plenty of time left. Darman, he's got to sit underneath the Ducky. Came smashing through Kerr. Gave the handball to Jones. No, ran out of room. So we'll have it thrown in right in front of the Scotch interchange bench. It's been a physical, taxing contest. And Brighton, one of the more physical teams in the comp, Greg, will just be loving the fact they're belting the suitcase out of one another. We'll have this thrown in. Coates and Grant are starting at centre half forward and charging in. The umpire's thrown it a mile. Jalbart off the ball. Has earned himself a free kick against Luke Winter. Maybe a bit of frustration. So Jalbart short to Lipscomb. Jack in the bright fluoro wheels right in front of where we're calling all the action on 11-16 SEN has got the ball, called to play on, gave the don't argue on Walters and swept it back in for Dennis. Jones closed on him, but Dennis got a kick away. It was a good mark by Brown on the logos on the broadcast wing. Interested in changing lanes is Henry Brown. He just wants to get it inside 50. Set Tarrant a task. There with Valentine. Ball hits the ground from Rouge, went looking for the body. And the umpire will ask for the ball. So they're inside 50 is Scotch. We've gone 5 minutes in the final term for Holmes Glen. And the umpire on the grilled logo will throw it up. The kick into the scoreboard end in the final term. Winter got it from Coates. Simons wrapped him up straight away. And Angus is going to be rewarded. The magic man who lit it up in the first half. I think James Tarrant is going to demand it. He will. And Greg, you know James Tarrant from this range is pretty solid.
Yeah, James can usually slot them from here. This is a big kick, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's stating the obvious, really.
It is, yeah.
It's a huge kick.
He was the full forward in the Big V team, both in 2023 and 2024. The number 12 for the Cardinals. From right on the paint of 50, James Tarrant gives it everything on tired legs and squeezes it in for a minor score. 7-4-46 to 5-10-40 for Homestead in this final term.
So back to a goal margin. So Scotch just hanging on in front, aren't they? They really haven't burst clear of St Kevin's for the entire game. St Kevin's just hanging in there. Here's Seaton out of full back. Nature Reserve side of the ground towards centre wing. Oh!
Yes.
Tucker over the top of Lawrence. Takes the mark on centre wing out of side of the ground. They all start to motor down forward, but he looks out right ahead of Darmody and he takes the mark. That was a great mark by Tucker over the top. Jack goes back towards Critchley. He marks at half back, calling for it for Rouge in the middle of the ground. Oh, that was dangerous. They swoop now. Handball came back into Lipscomb. Lipscomb a handball over the top into Tarrant. Tarrant nearly in trouble. Heard the call out wide. Simons has got it 45 out off. Bad handball. Tucker chops it off, but Simons gets it back. He goes in the goal. And he kicked it. So Simons messes it up. They chopped it off. He got it back. He ran into goal and he put through one of the goals of the day for his side. Simons has kicked so far 3 for the game. And Scotch go on to 8-4-52, leading St Kevin's 5-10-40. 2 goals for margin for Holmes Glen. 7.5 gone in this final term, Greg.
Lockie Farrugia, he had to come back through the corridor. He just missed the kick. It was the right thing he had to do because otherwise he goes down the line and Scotch are going to mark, and he was just a little bit unlucky. Missed the kick. It was the right thing to do. They've just got to keep playing, being brave and trying to pull the trigger and get back through the corridor.
So the magic man puts the Cardinals back to 2 goals in front. Lipscomb will get the clearance from the handball of Andy Jalbart to centre half forward. Tarrant now, this time he clubs it. This is a spot he likes, James Tarrant. He's already pointed towards the goals. Now Simon, I reckon, in the Big V game last year, this is the spot in extra time where he put him on his back,
yes,
and he gave Greg Hutchison a victory as coach of the Big V. Greg had no voice left. Tarrant may have no gas left in these legs, but this will put him to 18 points up right after the Simons goal. From 55 metres out, James Tarrant, it's going right to the line. It's touched on the paint, millimetres in it. Critchley got a fingertip on it. A behind, but it might be a handy one, Simon. 8-5-53 to 5-10-40 as we go downstairs for Old X to Brent Sternberg.
I was just going to say, Joey Simons kicks that miracle goal and then comes to the bench.
Unacceptable.
Throw a kick back in and Tarrant again takes the mark here for Scotch. They move it quickly. They go to Scott. He gets onto the point of the centre square. He goes to full forward. Clark there. Oh, he nearly held onto it. Seaton there. Oh, now a kick around the body again. And Leeds kicked it. Leeds put it through. For Scotch, he roved it beautifully. Clark went up. He palmed it down. Lean was in the right spot, and they kick another one.
Big influence, James Tarrant, in the last 5 minutes of the game. Some critical ball.
Lean kicks his second of the afternoon. He can thank Clark for that. And Scotch go out 9-5-59. St Kevin's 5-10-40. 19 points the margin for Holmes Glen. 10 minutes nearly played in this final term.
Greg, you just wonder, I know you said at the start of the term about the 3 big talls and it hasn't really worked for them, but whether there's some fatigue in the St Kevin's legs at the moment.
Yeah, it could be. I know James Tarrant's been really good. And he might have the matchup that he's happy with. He's not one. He hasn't got Critchley, and he hasn't got Ferrugia, so he might be reasonably happy with the matchup they've got.
So is there one last roll of the dice in this game for St Kevin's? It's getting away from them now, and the old-fashioned saying they're running on top of the ground, the Cardinals. Here's Tarrant again. He's inspired as they go inside 50. Chisels it towards Lee, who didn't take the mark. Critchley wants to go straight on the guts. There's no time to waste, but he's turned the kick over. And Charlie Cormack in the centre circles takes the mark. He goes to Stubbings on the half-forward flank. Inside 50, Clark! The big man clunks it in front of Ferrugia.
The unlikely full forward.
Yeah.
He kicked 3 last week, including an absolute bomb against Collegians. Out of the goal square, he's becoming the focal point. All eyes are on him, and James Tarrant has got off the chain in the first 10 minutes of the third term, and Clark will put the margin to 25 points. 10 goals will win it, Simon. If he puts it through, we're at that point.
And he's contested the last 2 contests. One resulted in a goal. Let's see what happens here.
He's already kicked 1 today, 27 for the season. Oh, he's kicked it straight to the man on the mark. He gets it back. He thumps it into goal. That would be ridiculous from the big man. And sometimes, Simon, a big man's got to know his limitations. Although he did bloody well, a good effort, minus score, 9-6-60, 5-10-40, we've got 11 minutes for Homestead in the final term.
20 points the margin, biggest lead of the day. Oh, gee, Scott's in trouble, but Cameron works it out for them. Fist away, Grant, front of the pack. Who was there? Walters handball. He goes out wider here. Volleyball spiking stuff going on out there. Now Scotch get it back. They go through the middle. Tarrant's there again. Another possession for him. Handball, Gelbert. He goes long towards the forward pocket. They'll set themselves. No one takes the mark. Fall of the ball here. Matheson, went through his legs, close to the boundary line. And Risky goes over his man. He's looking for a free kick. He won't get it. 20 points the margin. Scotch had the lead. They've led all of the afternoon. 3 points at quarter time, 9 points at half time, 6 points at three-quarter time, and now they're out to 20, and we've gone 12 minutes in this final term. Coates comes it to the front of the pack. Scott, no, we let Tarrant in. Tarrant brought the ground by Cameron. Great tackle, and the umpire says, too high, is it?
It is.
And he'll come back, Tarrant, and get the free kick.
What do you think he's going to do, Greg? He's had 2 shots already this term from this range.
Well, he's certainly going to have a shot, I know that.
Surely third time lucky, Simon, he gets the trip. Surely.
Charlie Cormack really good in the centre of the ground before, able to get them going forward again. Been influential, Taz, in this little bit, hasn't he?
Oh, has he what? This is about his 5th touch in about as many minutes. So here he is, Tarrant. Right on the 45-metre arc. Oh, he's gone right to the right. And has it made the distance? Yes, minus score. Scotch on 9-7-61. St Kevin's 5-10-40 for Holmes Glen. 13 gone in this final term.
3 behinds for James Tarrant. A couple of them in this term. Seaton to bring the footy back in. Nervous moments for Anthony Short to Jack Andriski.
And interesting, I know I said it before, but it's worked out really well for him because Ryan Valentine's ended up with Critchley and Ferrugia's gone to Clark, and it's allowed Taz to get someone that's not normally playing on a tour.
And he certainly exposed that, hasn't he? A 10.5 forward. Seaton now gets it back. His kick is not a good one. Out of bounds on the full. So it's all Cardinals, the way Mark Nat would like it in this final term. And Noblet is going to thump them back inside 50 again. It's becoming relentless, this pressure of the Cardinals, the defensive press, to the team that started the whole defensive press stuff in William Buck Premier. Into the pocket goes Noblet. Here's Tarrant again. He's got it. He's extracting some of the best urine you'll see, Simon.
He's a jumping jack in this final term, and he's really putting it to the sword to the St Kevin's defence. He's had a great final. Well, he's had a great 6 minutes, really.
He is,
6 minutes.
Absolutely. He is playing inspired football. And I dare say, Simon, if he goes and puts this one through, I may as well call it.
Okay, so that's a prediction. I'll tell you that Carey are premiers in 2024.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. James Tarrant from the pocket, on its way. A dead set, he's kicked it out of bounds on the floor.
Oh, dear me. That's a bad kick, Greg, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bad kick. You want them to have a shot, but at the same time, if you can just set it up to the top of the square to give someone a chance to compete. But it's easy for up here.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have kicked it, Greg. I would have kicked it.
Absolutely. Ferrugia. kicks it long as he can. Bennett from the back, a fisted punch. Down to Brown, handball Dennis. Oh, a missed kick, but it worked okay to Gilbert, who got it back to Polkinghorn, who goes forward to Clark. And Clark marks inside 45 for Scotch. Nature Reserve side of the ground. Yeah, we're not afraid to make predictions here at all on SEN Amateur Football, and I'll predict that Carey are premiers in C grade for 2024.
Read the score in a moment. Tell us what Will Clark's going to do with this footy.
So here he is, 46 out, keeps it low, goes to full foot. Oh, he's done it again, Tarrant. No, he dropped it inside the goal square, and the umpire will say, give it to me, I'll ball this one up.
105-34 for the pass. That's at Trevor Barker Oval. Simon finally is safe in a 71-point advantage in calling a game done. He doesn't have the best record in September. Top of the goal square, Scott. It spilled out the way of Tucker. Brilliant smother by Ollie Barter. Scott went back in after it. Came the way of Pfeiffer. He just handballed to space. It's still in. And Barter went looking for the body of Cameron before it goes over the line. 21 points the margin here. 9-7-61 to 5-10-40. One more goal. You feel like the Cardinals are going through to the grand final. And they'll take on Old Brighton next week. If St Kevin's get the next one, it may just spark something. Coates wins it down. Andriski just put it on the deck. Scott came bursting through, did Harry. Here's the big fella, Clark. He shoots the handball off. They're going to run it in! Party time for the Cardinals! And it's Cooper Lean again. He's kicked 4. Angus Simons beneath us is clapping. He's happy with the work of his fellow small forwards. They are everywhere, Greg. It's a swarm.
Yeah, look, just unfortunately for St Kevin's, they didn't get the result for the work that they put in during the, from about the 15-minute mark of the first quarter to halfway through the third quarter. They just needed to hit the scoreboard a bit more consistently, and they worked really hard, and they're tired at the moment.
Similar to what we saw last year, Simon.
Yes.
The Uni Blues ran out of gas in the final term after that close, heartbreaking loss to Collegians.
St Kevin's have had a couple of hard games against Old Brighton in the last couple of rounds, one in home and away and one during the finals. They've been real hard games of footy, and maybe now it's starting to tell, and the fresher legs of Old Scotch are coming to the fore. Henry Brown outside the square again, being held onto there was Lean, no free kick. Cameron hit over the footy, a handball. Now Lipscomb hit over the footy. They charge it again at it, and the umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball this one up 45 out from Scotch's goal. 27 points the margin. They led by 6 at three-quarter time. This has been impressive. Fist away, Clark. Handball. Now Henry Brown head over footy. Walters has him, brings him to ground, and we'll have another ball up. So we did say first to 10 to win the game. Well, we just may be right here. Thrown in the air again. Clark palms it down. Oh, Simons roved it beautifully. 45 out from goal. He goes to full forward. Clark there. Can't mark. Fell to Mathers. Seaton held up there by Lean. Gets a kick to Richards. And St Kevin's can steady a little bit now that he's got it in his hands. But he comes right across the face of goal to Singh. Valentine there gave away a free kick under the scoreboard. Jock runs off. Advantage has been paid. Oh, Pfeiffer missed with a handball. Hodges backing up. Handball to Richards, Zilly in trouble. Handball to Scott. Coach got it back. Now Townsend here for Scotch. High tackle on him. Umpire says bring it back and he'll get the free kick.
Well, they've been strong in this final term. The Cardinals, they've weathered the St Kevin's storm in the third quarter. And now they're putting it on the scoreboard. As Simon said, it was only 6 points at three-quarter time. And this bloke's been the reason, Tarrant. He didn't take the mark. They're charging after it, though. He gets it over the line. Angus Simons was the man in the first term, Greg, and James Tarrant in the last.
Yeah, I can't see Critchley at the moment. I know that it looks like Plugger's moved someone onto James Tarrant. It's not Critchley, because Critchley's on the bench, I think.
He certainly is. So thrown back in, Tarrant just grabbed it out of the ruck. Only went a couple of metres with the kick. Cameron stole the footy. He gave it back to Tucker, who gave it to Andrisk on the non-preferred up the line. Cormac had a really good day in the defensive unit for the Cardinals. It bounced the way of Pfeiffer. Dennis was strong. Handball spilt out towards Richards. Dennis went back for a second cherry. And he locks it up on the broadcast wing.
Have a look how many red jumpers there are around the footy. This is unbelievable. They've been like this all of the afternoon, Scotch. They've just harassed St Kevin's.
19 and a half minutes gone in the final term for Holmes Glen. Grant tried to grab it out of the ruck and palm it down. It came out the way of Henry Brown. He could go inside 50 into the pocket of Valentine. Fisted away by Nick Singh, gets to the safety of the boundary line. And we'll have it thrown in underneath the scoreboard. So still Sam Critchley stands on the bench. Paddy Kerr makes his way on the ground. If they find another one here, it's all she wrote. About to be tossed back in. Clark to do the ruck work here against Hart. Angus won it down. It's built back the way of Lean. He's had 4 goals already. Winter grabbed it, thrown 180, tried to get to Hodges, fumbled the football. On 50, it came to way of Henry Brown. He's been locked up and the umpire will ask for it.
So 20 minutes gone. Yes, Brent down on the boundary.
The bench for Old Scotch has been working on his left groin for about the last 4 minutes.
So here's Walters out of the contest of Lipscomb, and Lipscomb gets it back, and the umpire has awarded Lipscomb a free kick as Walters threw it in the contest. So 45 out from goal. Scoreboard into the ground here. Lipscomb's got it here for Scotch. They lead by 27. We've gone 21 in the final term. It's not over yet. We won't call it yet. We're not that game. Here's Lipscomb. He goes in short or jock. Oh, he just waltzed in, collected the footy, kick into Darmody. He marks on his chest. Opens 45-metre arc. They all run back down. He's got Gunson screaming for it. Darmody goes towards half forward. Fished away Lawrence towards the boundary line. Townsend ends up with it. Handball to Hazel. Attack of the fumbles by him. And it goes over the line out of play. We'll have a ball in. Oh, Hayes was unsure there. Not sure what to do, really. He didn't want to give away a free kick. And he sort of did that professionally over the line. Inside the 45-metre arc. Thrown back in. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Kerr out of the ruck. Goes to full forward. And Lawrence. Oh, he dropped a mark. Catch it off the ground by Darwin, and he's put it through. So Lawrence messes it up in the goal square. The ball bounced out of his hands. Darwin was there, the goal square, and puts their 6th goal on the board. They go into 6-10-46 St Kevin's. Trailing Scotch 10-7-67 for Holmes Glen, 22 gone in this last quarter.
He was a bit unlucky, Doug, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but a really good
absolutely.
goal. And there's fight in them still. St Kevin's, they're a fantastic team, aren't they? They just keep coming at you and at you and at you.
Darmody's first goal of the afternoon, and couldn't get any closer to goal.
No, we've had millimetres at the other end. James Tarrant's had 3 shots in the final turn. 2 of them have been touched, and then Darmody on the goal line brings it back to 21 points. 22 minutes into the final term. Richards gets the clearance going forward for St Kevin's. He's a speedster, you know. He thumps it inside 50. Lawrence from the back crashed the pack and smashed it out of the danger zone. Cormac, he's put Kerr on the deck
down,
in a world of trouble. Now there's been a whistle.
Like Kerr.
Out of bounds, I think.
Oh, out of bounds, okay.
He's down again in that same area he was down in that second term, Paddy Kerr.
Well, this time it was a big Lawrence knee in the back. Even Matt Bennett's feeling it.
Yeah, he got Bennett as well.
Friendly fire there.
Nothing asked from Dougie. He just wanted to see that Sharon get as far away from him as possible. So tossed back in. Henry Brown, bottom of the contest with Simons. The Magic Man's earned the free kick. He'll get it on the half-back flank. Watch him somehow get this ball in the forward 50. Angus Simons. He'll go short to his captain in Jalbart. He'll just slowly follow the footy down. They won't mind eating seconds out of the clock. Here the Cardinals. Jalbart goes down the line. Tarrant for Ruja out of bounds on the full. And you can only assume, Greg, this is going to be a quick play for St Kevin's.
You would think so. You're going to have to change direction and go as fast as they can.
Well, he's going to change direction.
He's going to Critter. Yeah.
He's going all the way back to Sam Critchley, who will have to either go corridor or get to the opposite back pocket. He does that with Gunson. Kerr comes from the ground. Gunson's got to step around Clark. He's got to step around Hayes. He's got to use that leg speed. And he does. Into the centre square, Coates. Over the back is Winter. Open is Callum Jones. He's got to go up against Lawrence. They hit the deck as well as the ball. Tucker closes along with Bennett. Speedster is Dennis. Sweeps the handball over the top to Townsend. Defensive back pocket. He comes across the ground. Will it stay in or will they see it out? It'll bounce up at Noblet. He'll give it over the top to Hayes. Valentine's in space. This might be the moment. He can give to Lean, who can just about close the door on this game. Sweeps the handball to the big fella, the ruckman. In the pocket, Clark. No way! He goes into goal and they've got it! Poking Horn on the line! Ruckman don't do that, but Will Clark's not just a ruckman today. He's everything this club stands for, and they're going through to the grand final, Simon. They're going through to the grand final in 2024.
That's a great prediction, Joey.
Terrific contest by Dougie Lawrence down there. He had to win the one-on-one, and he's a terrific player. It was a good contest. Tina Bennett been really good down there today.
Someone's got to put him on the line, Simon, and it's this year it's me.
Yeah, you do it. I did it last year.
11-7-73, 6-10-46 for home for that in the final quarter. Scotch have pulled away to a 27-point advantage.
18 shots to 16 for the game, and a 27-point margin to them. They led by 6 at three-quarter time. What a finish by them in this final term. Winter handball. Richards nearly a handball. Walters ends up with it now. He had the handball, but he couldn't really. Gelbart was there in the way. Fell back into Grant, who got Henry Brown. Handball back to Polkinghorn, who kicked their last goal. He goes back to Henry Brown on the back end of the centre square. Kick towards centre wing for Scotch, and the mark has been taken by St Kevin's, and out there is Matheson. Left foot kick goes into the middle of the ground. Called out of it there was Dennis by Townsend. He marks. He looks for runners. Cormac did run, but he elected to kick. Down to full forward. Oh, Valentine. He's got it now. He goes into an open goal. Clark can get into goal. That is it. Clark kicks another one. He's been instrumental in this forward line in this final term. Clark kicks his second, and Scotch kick another one.
I think it's done now, Simon.
There's no doubt about that. They've kicked their 12th for the afternoon. We thought 10 might, but 12 will do it. 12-7-79. St Kevin's 6-10-46 for home clean. 27 minutes played in this final term. And Clark and Tarrant have been instrumental in this final quarter for the Old Scotch team.
Yeah, the big fella's been really good, hasn't he, Clark?
Yeah, terrific.
Been huge. They don't get any smaller as the game goes on. Eddie Gelbart.
He's even been good at ground level. It's been a wonderful performance, and they've used the three tools really well, Tarrant, Valentine and Clark. And Valentine's been able to drag one of the Keith and Kevin's defenders out of the way that's enabled Tarrant and Clark to get involved in it. So good coaching by Natty.
Let's go downstairs to Brent Sternberg for Old X. Brent.
Been a wonderful season for Paddy Kerr for St Kevin's, but I suspect we've seen the last of him. He's on the back of the bench with, I think, a head knock.
They're going again to Clark from Polkinghorn.
This is unbelievable.
I'm telling you, Simon, he's taking some of the best piss you'll ever see. Here's Will Clark.
Wow.
Goodness gracious me, the ruckman and James Tarrant.
The kick was just magnificent to him. Lace out at full speed, and he led at full speed. Just magnificent play.
The number 44 has just kicked a couple of goals in this final term. You'll hear the roar if he kicks it. Stumbling approach. Does not matter. They are through to their first grand final in William Buck Premier since 1998, if you can believe that. They'll take on Old Brighton next week, 13-7-85 to 6-10-46.
Sam Grant's been really important for them. I know he hasn't played all year for them, but being able to ruck today has allowed big Jordan Clark to stay in the forward line. And sometimes Tarrant has to ruck, but he hasn't had to today. So been enormous in the ruck today, Sam Grant. Let's
go downstairs to Brent Sternberg for Old X. Brent.
Joey, I've just had a couple of Old Scotch Premiership players from years past. 1978, they won the flag, and the boys have said to me they're more than happy for the boys of 2024 to take the mantle next week.
Good on them, and let's just hope that it's a great game. Here's Dennis. Obviously, frenetic's an issue for them. Here is Stubbings, gets a kick. Up towards Valentine, paddled it in front of him. Winter there, didn't budge on the contest. He won the footy. Got it to sing for St Kevin's. Walters a handball inside to Hodges. Gets it back to Ferrugia, who goes to half forward, and Gill takes the mark. He looks at full forward. Jones there and Lawrence. Here's the contest again. Lawrence in front, but he didn't contest it. Ball fell to the front of the pack. Richards in the goal, misses. He had a really good first half, did El, but his second half, he's faded out like most liked of the team, and only a minor score there to St Kevin's. 6-11-47. Scotch into a grand final, 13-7-85. We've gone 30 and a half, or 30 minutes in this final quarter.
So Brown.
I think James Tarrant just about rolled his ankle. They've put him behind the ball in the last couple of minutes, and I'm not sure how he pulled up after that last contest. I reckon he's looking to come off.
Here's Ollie Barter getting it to the big man Clark again. There's an open goal square, and Valentine's down there. What a finish for this game of football. The Cardinals rewrite the sins of the past, and they're going through to the grand final. And Ryan Valentine will put the exclamation mark on this one. Bang! There it is. 14-7, 91, 6-11-47. You can run on the ground now, Will Strange, and celebrate. They are through to their first William Buck Premier Grand Final since 1998. Clinical in the final term. We said half an hour ago we may not have 9 goals in the final quarter. We had 7. They got bloody close, Greg.
Well, it wasn't St Kevin's that were going to kick 9. That was the discussion point.
It wasn't St Kevin's, no. You were right on that one. They have got it done. 14-7-91, 6-11-47. For the first time, Simon, since 2016, we will have a William Buck Premier Grand Final that doesn't feature St Kevin's.
Exactly, and it was only a 6-goal margin to Old Scotch at three-quarter time. They've run out and won this game by 44 points. It's just been a dynamic display on top of the ground here. They just did not stop running. St Kevin's, you can see, were starting to tire. Obviously, early in that final term, the Cardinals just kept coming. Tarrant and Clark and Lean kicking 4 for the day have been great players for them all of the afternoon.
Yeah, it was a fantastic effort by Scotch. They really worked really hard, and to St Kevin's credit as a team and as a club, they've been outstanding. And it wasn't their day today. Scotch were really good. They'll give Brighton a decent go next week. It'll be a fantastic game. Good running and carrying, and the key forwards were really good. So a good effort by Scotch.
I like the way they just harassed and tackled today, Greg. Like that's just a great game of footy to play in a preliminary final. The way they just tackled and harassed St Kevin's in every contest that we saw.
Oh, they were outstanding. It was really good. And it could have gone either way at three-quarter time. And
yeah.
I think we might have just heard from Brent Sternberg down on the boundary. Brent, what do you got for us?
Joey, I've got Charlie Cormack here. Charlie, outstanding today, mates. It's obviously been a big week for you. You're getting the win in the finals, knocking off the defending premiers, and we know what a great team the Premiers have been down the years. And in the end, you run away with it pretty comfortably. How did it feel out there?
It felt good. I mean, obviously a close game. Running down that last quarter and played our way, didn't go away from it, and kept taking it on, which is our brand. I think we like being the underdogs in all this, and we knocked off Wesley last week, which is a big kudo for us. Skev's traditionally had the bit over us, so it's it means a lot to get through the grand final, I think, and on to next week now.
You are only 1 goal leaders that have some water, mates. I'll have a long-winded question for you here. Just a 1 goal.
Just walk over, Brent, as you're doing so, yes, for the Guard of Honour. Walk over and allow Charlie to be in the Guard of Honour for Billy Coates as you talk and walk at the same time.
Thank you, Joey. A 1 goal lead at three-quarter time. Charlie, what was Daddy's message for three-quarter time?
I think he gave us a motivation at the start of the game. I think play with your heart and your head and everything up. I think he just sort of got back to that, and it's a good motivation for the boys. And so we left all in there, and he did really well. Good man for the trainers. I think he went down with a heavy or something there, so he's going to stick towards next week and prepare and get back fit.
So, Charlie, did you boys want to have a chat to Charlie, or will we let him go?
We'll let Charlie go. We'll come down in the rooms and just capture this moment here, 11-16 SEN. So 200 games for Billy Coates, 4 premierships, a big V player as a fullback, a big V player this year with you, Greg, as a ruckman. He'll be cheered from the ground to the applause of both St Kevin's and Old Scotch fans. An out-and-out warrior of the St Kevin's Football Club. Was there as an under-19 in 2011, and then once he made his senior debut, never saw the under-19s again. Was part of the premiership with Plugger in 2015, and unfortunately his season ends today against St Kevin's, Greg. But he's a wonderful VAFA person.
Terrific person, terrific player, great warrior for the footy club. Done an outstanding job over his career, and hopefully he goes around again. But he really doesn't get much of a rest. He just runs so tirelessly himself, and it took his toll on him today. During the last quarter, he just couldn't get to where he needed to get to. But he's been a fantastic player, and well done on a terrific career. But congratulations to the Scotch. It was a good win, and they thoroughly deserve being able to play in a grand final next week against Old Brighton.
I feel like, Simon,
The last time we saw Scotch up against Brighton was out at Camberwell. Brighton had them in the first term, but then Scotch absolutely over them. And if they look back at what they did in that game earlier in this season towards the back end of the season, they're going to give this a real fright next week.
Yeah, it'll be a great game next week. Both teams will be in good form. I think that Brighton will have the advantage because it's a 6-day break, even a 5-day break into the Friday game. That's certainly going to suit Brighton. They've got the advantage in terms of being fresh, but Scotch are in good form. They've done a really good job today. Their running players were outstanding, and their contest was good as well. So it'll be a great game next week, and congratulations to the Scotch. Well done.
Greg, you've obviously seen the Brighton boys all year long up against Old Scotch. It's going to be, as you just said, a great game. I mean, Aidan Frenetic's going to be a heartbreaking story, unfortunately, from today, and hopefully Ollie Barter's only just getting a bit of fatigue late in the game, had that groin attack.
Yeah, that's right. All those heartbreaking stories all around. Harry Hill's a heartbreaking story, So, Aidan Frenetic misses with a hamstring, Harry misses with a concussion protocol. So, there's hard luck stories in grand finals all the time. So, Brighton are in really good shape. They're going to be healthy other than Harry, so it'll be a really good contest next week.
So, after today, if you're coaching Old Scotch, how now do you prepare for a game next Friday, today being Saturday, getting them through this week and enjoying the fact that they're actually into a grand final at the same time?
That's right, and it's hard to enjoy now because it's such a short week. So they'll do a recovery in the morning. I reckon Natty will probably get them at the club tomorrow. They'll do a good recovery session. They'll do a recession again on Monday night, recovery again, then they'll kick the legs over on Wednesday night and just get ready to play on Friday. They won't do much.
They won't do much.
No,
well, they don't need to.
No, they're in good shape. They're fit. They've been playing all the time.
That's right.
And the short, who knows, the short break might be to their advantage because you haven't got as much time to think about it. They certainly need to enjoy this because the opportunity to get to the grand final. I think someone said they hadn't been in one for
since
78, whatever. Yeah, so it's and Brighton are only playing in their third grand final ever in A grade Brighton, so it's a wonderful contest.
And the last time they did was at the Trevor Barker Oval, and St Kevin's just nailed them, really.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
That's okay. We've got to mention this sort of stuff.
Exactly right, mate. No, it was good. Yeah, it wasn't one of the greatest days I've had in my life, but.
What about how...
But you have those days.
Yeah, you do have those days.
That's
exactly
right.
Yes, what about Charlie Cormack there and how cool and calm and collected he spoke? I mean, this is one of the biggest wins he's probably ever had in his life, and he was just talking like I was walking down the street with him.
Yeah, I think he had a bigger one in the state game in 2023. When we had a draw, so that was I was trying to be humorous there, Brent. No, he's good. He's a good man. Charlie played really well. Q2 took 3 or 4 intercept marks, did a really good spoil. He was really important for them today.
So looking forward to next Friday, the weather forecast is for a sunny day and 16 degrees.
Yeah, wonderful.
That's going to be just a game. These guys are going to be out on their feet, I reckon, in this last term. The ground conditions will stay the same. That's really hard out there. So obviously fatigue is going to be a factor maybe in that last quarter next week if the weather forecast is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I think they're in pretty good shape though, Simon. I hear what you're saying. The break will impact on them though.
Yes.
The 6-day break against a team that's fresh, it will impact. So I think they showed enough today, though, that suggested that they're able to run it out pretty well. So it'll be a good contest.
And just the dynamic as well. I mean, you've got Old Brighton, who have been on top for most of the season. They have the week off. And then you've got Old Scotch, who are coming in having played, but not just played, but all that momentum with those 2 wonderful victories. Hadn't won an A-grade final in many years. They knock off the defending premiers and then they knock off St Kevin's today.
Go downstairs. I think Joe's got the mic in the Scotch rooms here.
Well, he said that he would let me know when he's sweet. I think we've got Natty speaking to the boys at the moment. I'm not sure if we want to. Do we want to pick this up?
No,
Bruce,
okay. We'll wait to hear from Joe.
Yeah, no, he's just saying private moment. So, and these are the early moments of grand final week.
Correct.
really, for Old Scotch. And
So, yes. Greg,
so-
how's your preparation going into the week for yourself? How do you enjoy the week getting into a grand
I
final?
don't have much to do. I just went and watched them train this morning and watch them train again during the week. And the old Brighton boys, they've been really good all year. So they've worked really hard over a long period of time. They've got good momentum because the game against St Kevin's the win was fantastic. So, Scotch have got momentum today. Brighton have got momentum from a couple of weeks ago. I think history would suggest that the team that's won the second semi-final in the last 8 years has won the premiership. So, you would think that Brighton would be favourites.
Yes, of course.
They've been the best team all year.
Absolutely.
Albeit Scotch have beaten them throughout the course of the year. So it'll be a good contest.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
And
that's what you want coming into a grand final.
And I think a good thing for the competition is that, St Kevin's are not going to win it again.
No.
or even be involved. And I'm not being disrespectful because they've been an outstanding club, but it'd be nice to see the Brighton or Scotch have their name up as being the winners.
Well, absolutely. It's just two different sides contesting a major game at the end of the season.
And interestingly, that in 2017, both teams played off in the B grade final when Brighton won it, and both teams have stayed up, and now both teams 7 years later are playing off in an A grade grand final. So it's a real it's a testament and credit to both clubs. They've done really well.
A feather in the cap, because it's not easy, is it? You drop out of A, you go down to B. It might take you ages to get back up, and you just keep fighting away, and you just find a way to work your way into that top 4 position in B grade and hopefully make your way back through.
Yeah, and as I said, 7 years ago, both teams played off in their B grade final, and 7 years later they're playing off in the A grade final. It really is good. And Brighton, since they've come up, have only missed the finals twice. So it's been really good what both clubs have been able to do. And then they're young. They come through the school.
Yes.
We're ready to go downstairs, I think. Sorry, Simon.
I'm just going to say that Brighton have kept the nucleus of players this year, where before they go away. But this year they've stayed.
Yeah, they have stayed,
And it helps.
Yeah, it does help.
Let's go down to you, Joe.
Thank you, Simon. Now, I'm first of all coming straight to James Tarrant. Taz, what a last quarter of footy you put on. Before I ask you about that, tell me about the fact that you're in a grand final.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long year, I think. It's kind of all come at once come September, and we're all really excited. I think we feel like we've earned the right to be here. We've won 2 finals now, so done it the hard way, but we couldn't be in a better spot for it next week.
Mate, the last quarter, geez, you turned something on, Taz. You just couldn't kick the goal.
Yeah, well, it didn't feel like I did a heap in the first 3, so I thought I'd better contribute in the last. And fortunately, a few of them stuck, and it would have been nice to put a few through, but it's what it is, and on to next week.
What's on for the night, mate?
It was my girlfriend's birthday during the week, so we're going out for dinner.
Well, congratulations on getting to a grand final. Enjoy the dinner. We'll catch up next week.
Thank you.
Now, boys, Angus Simons is just standing right here. He's the magic man. Started the game in a blaze of glory. Simo, what a finish to the game. You're in a grand final, brother.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought that at the start of the year. It's bloody unbelievable, Joey. I'm lost for words.
Mate,
great feeling.
Your first quarter was out of the box awesome. The impact you had, not only kicking a goal, but just being a part of this team and feeling like you belong is so special for you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This is just an unbelievable group. We're one club, Rezzies and Ones. We all get around each other, and it's just unbelievable. Everyone gets around each other. There's no one's more important than each other, and I can't wait for Friday.
What happens tonight for you, great man?
Just nothing. Just sit back at home, watch the Catters, see how they go.
Well, mate, congratulations. You're in the grand final. We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, Joey. See you Friday.
Angus Simons is here. I'm going to grab Andy Jalbard. He's the captain. Jally, congratulations, mate. You are taking the Cardinals to their first grand final since 1998.
Yeah, it feels great, to be honest, mate. The team's just binding together week on week on week. Feel really good about it. We're strong, we're fit. We haven't lost too many along the journey, so you're really proud of the boys.
Tight first 3 quarters. You blew them away in the last, but at what point did you go, okay, we're going again on Friday?
To be honest, it's probably when that final siren went. We've played St Kevin's a couple of times, and they're a very good side. They've got a proud history, and they're not afraid of coming back in the last quarter, 3, 4, 5 goals. So until that final siren went, I knew the job wasn't done.
Now, you've been here before. You're one of the few who's experienced finals before this year. You know what it takes. How much are you going to drive the boys who haven't experienced what's about to happen in the next week?
Yeah, it's obviously going to take everything we have, especially on a 6-day break. Recovery is key. but I feel like we've got the fitness, and the boys aren't going to waste an opportunity like this. Absolutely.
Mate, congratulations, you're in. We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks very much, Joey.
Andy Gelbart joining us. Just swanning around. I see Henry Brown. I can't not have a chat to Henry. Congratulations, mate. You're in the grand finals.
Thank you. It's unreal. I'm so stoked with it. Unreal.
Not only that, you get to do it with your brother.
I know. It's awesome playing alongside Jack. He looks for me a bit. He helps me out. Yeah, it's awesome.
How's your year been, Henry? How's the year been? Because you've been in the Big B team, at Coburg, now you're back at the Cardinals, you're playing on Friday.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier. I love coming back here, playing with all the boys. Everyone's so welcoming. It's just awesome. Awesome experience.
What happens from here for you? Big night tonight, or he's just keeping a lid on things?
No, I'll keep a lid on it. Yeah. No, lay low tonight, I reckon. 6 days, yeah.
Well, congratulations, mate. You enjoy your night. We'll catch up with you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There's Henry Brown. Ollie Barter. I see Ollie Barter here. Can we have a quick chat, Ollie? You're a superstar in your own right. I see you getting some groin work done right at the end of the game. We okay?
Yeah, just needed to stay a bit hydrated the day before. Probably didn't drink enough, and we didn't have any pickle juice as well. So, but no, after that rub, it was all good. So,
mate, in a grand final, how are you feeling about Friday?
Yeah, good. First grand final. I've only played in 3 finals, so yeah, it'll be a good experience.
Congratulations, mate. We'll see you there. There's Ollie Barter. Now, I'll just keep walking around here. Will Strange, we spoke to you at halftime, Will. Congratulations, mate. You've got the club into, well, you tick one box, the grand final. Tick the second one next week.
Yeah, look, it's a huge moment for the club. We set out this year with 7 teams, 6 made prelims and 4 have made grand finals. So it is a really proud moment, and it's a bit of a changing moment for us. And we saw it out there today. I don't think we played our best footy, but we scrapped at the right time, and then the polish came late. So,
jeez, you played your best footy in the last 30 minutes, mate.
Yeah, look, I think we might have a couple of sessions with Taryn about goal kicking this week, or change his boots or something. But Taz was taking clunks everywhere. But no, the boys are really good. We've got that overlap run that we think we're known for. And yeah, it's a proud day. You can see it in the rooms here. It's pumping.
Mate, unfortunately, there's going to be a sour note, isn't there? There's 2 blokes sitting in the corner, Brodie Easton and it looks like Aidan Frederick probably misses. But they're 2 who have been rusted on and helped you get to where you are next Friday.
Yeah, look, it's really challenging because Aidan Frenetic is just a fantastic person and a really smart footy brain as well, and Brodie's the same.
Mate, thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you Friday.
Nat is more important than me, so he's the man of the moment.
Now, Mark Nat, sacrificial acts. You're in the window, defensive structures. It all comes down to Friday now. Congratulations, great man.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's a few cliches in there, isn't there, eh? Listen, I said to him at 3/4 time, we've waited 12 months for this and to take our moments when they were there, and the spirit that this group's shown, Thursday night in the rooms in the club was amazing, and I said we just got to draw upon that. These are the things that we can control. It's effort. It's celebrating the little things and momentum. Your favourite word, Joey, momentum, and the finish it off like that was incredible. I'm pretty emotional, to be honest.
Oh, you deserve to be emotional, Natty. You've ridden this wave with this group, and we've talked about that over the last 4-5 years. But when it gets to 3/4 time in a preliminary final, you're a goal in front. I mean, what are you clinging on? What are you drawing on to get the last quarter that they produced?
Yeah, listen, a lot of it's about just at 3/4 time, and there's so much emotion. I said, hey, this is our 5 minutes just to chill, because you don't make good decisions in an emotional state. So we got to compose. And I asked the questions of the boys, right, what sort of ball movement's going to work for us? And we knew they had a tough game last week, and they're only human, and it's going to take it out of them. And it was a matter of how do we use the ball, possess the ball, and just blow them up a little bit, and then take our chances. And we probably mucked around with a few there, but it was just be composed. Let's get our heads right. Physically, we knew we'd be fine, but the test was going to be upstairs, and I think we stood the test.
Physically, absolutely. We've talked about this over the last 2 years, the ability for the Cardinals to run out 120 minutes of footy. You've got to play the minutes to beat Scotch, but you've added the defensive bow to the structure this year, even tighter than last year, Natty, and you're number 1 in that spot. That's the premiership window right there. Is how proud you are of this group, that not only can they score, they can stop everyone else from scoring the other way.
Yeah, it's about having those different levers you can pull, and when do you need to play fast? When do you need to play a bit slower? When do we need to lock the game down? And we've worked really hard on our method. And, no secret, I've looked up to what Plugger's done and Brighton, these clubs. And I think the method that we put in place and different methods that we use on occasion. I think they're all on the same page, and at the end of the day, you know, we play for the love of the game, and we like to play an attacking brand of footy and a brand of footy that's pretty attractive, and I reckon we did that pretty well.
Is there anyone happier in this room than this young man here? Your 15-year-old son now, isn't he? Lockie Nat. Congratulations, Lock.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Mate, what influence do you have on the team this week? What do we put on the whiteboard on Thursday night?
I mean, not much, but apart from Polks coming in, our team was really the same, so yeah.
And Charlie Cormack had a big influence on you Thursday night?
Yes, very. It was awesome.
It was a very, very special moment, and I said to the guys Thursday, like, for my family, but also I got Brian Gibbs in his 80s, and these guys have been around the club 50, 60, 70 years. What you guys are doing is touching a lot of people, and we got one more to go now, Joey.
One more. We'll see you on Friday. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Enjoy your night, lads. We'll see you then.
Thanks, mate.
Let's just keep walking over. We'll let Mark Nat compose himself. I'm going to go and find Charlie Cormack because he took all the kick-ins today. In fact, here he is. I can see Charlie Cormack's right here. Charlie, congratulations. Well played. Mate, leather poisoning kicking out a full back today for you.
Sorry, what was that?
Leather poisoning kicking out a full back for you today.
Yeah, well, when they keep kicking behinds, you get your eye in and you get a few shots at it. So I screwed one up.
That's okay. You can screw one up. You're entitled to do that. Now, you had a pretty big influence Thursday night with the coach's son turning 15. What was your role in all of that?
I've been told I'm his favourite player, so I presented him with his cupcake. It was Big Dougie Lawrence's birthday as well, so I got up and gave him both a hug and a cupcake and sung happy birthday. So it was good. All the boys got around it, and yeah, it's a good feeling on Thursday.
How does it sit with you that you're the favourite player of the coach's son? That must be pretty handy going into a grand final if you're worried about selection.
I think I've got a cheat there because I've played under Natty since under 19. So when he was little Tucker, there he is now. When he was a little Tucker, I was running out there and stayed through with Natty all the way through. So I think I got an advantage there.
Can you believe you're actually playing on Friday in a grand final?
No, I don't think so. Not until that last 5 minutes of the last quarter. Sort of look around and like we might have this here. We might be playing on Friday, injury conservation mode. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone believed it here. So it's great.
I just had a chat to Jelly and he said on the siren was the only time I thought we're here. Did you have similar moments?
I think I was. I think. We were just so good in that last quarter. We ran over them. We sort of burst the bubble, and Big Clark, he was great also, just sort of taking clunks there in the forward line.
This is Will Clark, big fella, lovely to meet you. Charlie, sit here and listen to it. Have you ever seen a bloke that big take the piss the way he did the last quarter?
Sports entertainment.